Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Friday Night Lights via RBTV here at Kennelly Stadium. What we hope will be a more exciting matchup here against the 4-3 West Chicago Wildcats. I'm your host, Aiden Sheff, alongside Colin Cimino. Been a minute since we've been back in the booth together here for a Friday Night Lights game, but excited to be back up here in the booth with you, Colin. So let's talk about the Wildcats a bit here. Jump right in here on the prowl here tonight. The Wildcats they started their season 3-1, but have actually lost their last 3 games in a row against South Elgin, Elmwood Park, and Glenbard East. However, that does not mean we can underestimate this team and what they can do on the ground game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to look a little bit into that type of offense here. Carter Naranjo is their quarterback, and he's not the prototypical quarterback, a little bit like Giancarlo Garcia. He's more of a rushing quarterback, as he's only 11 for 19 with 182 passing yards and 3 touchdowns on the season. But the rushing game, I mean, can't say much better about it. 95 carries for 838 yards and 14 rushing touchdowns. He is averaging 167 rushing yards a game. I mean, that is just
stat. You take a look at his stats, man. You'd think that he's a running back. If you didn't see quarterback listed on his profile, I think you'd think that guy is going to line up in the backfield. How about the other guy, number 1 here for the Wildcats?
Well, that's Liam Zaberski. Yep. He's number 1, and he is playing a little bit of running back, quarterback also. Yep. He's definitely an interesting type of player. He's only completed pass for this season, went for a 68-yard touchdown, so not too shabby, but he also has 39 carries, 467 yards, and 6 touchdowns, and he's averaging 78 rushing yards a game. I mean, RB has found themselves in a similar situation before when they faced Elgin this year. They were tasked with Anthony Foster and LaMarin Powell, 2 great running backs coming in with crazy stats. I mean, the 2 guys were on pace for incredible seasons on paper, but the Dogs just entirely shut them down. Negative yards. I mean, just great plays from the defense overall. And we're looking for a similar defensive performance from our defense this week, especially the defensive line keeping big plays in and just getting this extra swing of momentum heading into Glenbard East next week.
Absolutely. More notes on West Chicago as the game is just moments away here. They do run the wing T offense, which I believe Fenton ran when the Bulldogs played them just a couple of weeks ago. These wins are against the teams that they are better than on paper, right? So you go into those games, and if you favor West Chicago, they're likely coming out with a win. I wouldn't favor West Chicago tonight. No bias, guys. That's just how good this RB team is. But they must be contained on the ground game, right? Carter Naranjo and Liam Zaberski, the 2 guys that we talked about pregame, they're going to have to contain them on the ground game as we are moments away from kickoff here. So we will go silent here for a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and face the flag for the playing of our national anthem.
That to set the tone here in the Dog Pound, a big matchup. The Bulldogs look to stay undefeated, go 8-0. One more matchup before the playoffs, which are going to be highly anticipated for this Bulldogs team. It's been a while. I don't think they've been in the playoffs since before we were even born, Colin. So not like we would have been able to see it anyways. This would be a huge accomplishment, obviously, to go to undefeated. But we talked to Coach Styler a little bit on the playbook this week, just yesterday actually, and he said, you know, obviously being, and I'm going to paraphrase him here, but obviously, you know, being undefeated is quite an accomplishment. They're looking, you know, more down the line and playoffs are a big deal, and they don't want to just fall flat after going undefeated in the regular season, right?
No, absolutely. And they're talking about the rankings this week, as they did enter the rankings at number 10 in 6A, which is a huge accomplishment. I don't think they've been ranked probably since the 90s, but the dogs are looking great this year, and I definitely think they can't look too far ahead, as Glen Bardis is going to be a tough matchup next week.
Yeah, Coach Styler said it best on the playbook. Go watch it. A little plug there. Make sure you catch up just before kickoff here. You might have a little bit of time to do so. But, yeah, let's talk a little bit more about West Chicago as we are just moments away from kickoff here. We talked about Naranjo and Zabierski, the two guys that we're going to keep an eye out for as well. But number 12, Lucas Wheat is a guy that we're going to look out for as well. Another guy that sort of plays the quarterback position for them. Will be a unique approach here on offense for the Wildcats, as we don't really know who's going to go out there in the huddle first. We'll see who gets the ball first. Obviously, a lot of things remain to be seen here tonight on all phases, as you hear Crazy Train from Mr. Ozzy Osbourne here to set the tone. But, yeah, it should be an exciting game tonight. I think me and you are both hoping for a more back-and-forth matchup, maybe not a blowout where the Bulldogs are just up 40-14 in the first already. But that is the power that this Bulldogs offense and defense holds. This team is, a powerhouse this year, and you talked about it during the IHSA 6A power rankings, top 10 for the first time. You got the likes of East St. Louis and other really strong programs that play nationally. I mean, East St. Louis was scheduled to play IMG this year, so these teams are no joke, and to be considered among them is a huge accomplishment for the Bulldogs.
Even Nazareth with their 3 state championships back to back to back, I think that's also a massive accomplishment just to be there. Yeah. And kind of looking into a couple keys of the game, RB's D-line needs to keep plays to a minimum. They cannot have a lot of breakout plays. They need to be able to contain this offense. Due to the fact that they do run this wing T offense, they're going to need to stay assigned to their matchups.
Absolutely. It is booted away here from Bilo Broddick, a line drive that'll bounce out of bounds. It'll be a touchback for this Wildcats offense. So like I just said, a lot of things remain to be seen. A lot of question marks that we're going into here. Me and Colin for this Wildcats offense should be interesting to see unfold here, as they are getting placed at around the 25-yard line after the touchback. Naranjo, the early guy to look out for on the ground game.
I think something we need to touch on as well is this West Chicago secondary. Yeah. They've given up a lot of points this year. So Bubba Novak and these wide receivers really need to take advantage of this week. Just get the air game going. And I think we got a couple of receivers that we're very tagged into tonight. Absolutely.
Defensive player scored a touchdown last week. Jaden Barrett, your guy in the middle, normally lined up at linebacker, got himself in the end zone early in the game last week against the beatdown 67-8. Funny score there that they were might have gone for there. Obviously, if you heard, they purposely missed the extra point and went for 2 to get to that 6-7 score. Faced a bit of a punishment there, but nonetheless, they put the beat down on Elmwood Park. Just shows the power that the Bulldogs team has. And they will take advantage of the lesser teams that they play on their schedule. We'll see if they can do so with West Chicago here tonight.
Even with West Chicago losing to Elmwood Park, this is not a team you can overlook. No. I don't think the Dogs can do this at all tonight, especially the guys up front. Yep. They need to get the job done tonight. Absolutely. John Evans, another guy, the red-headed demon, got in the end zone last week. It was a kick return touchdown, so it was on special teams. But we talked to Styler about that. He likes seeing those special teams touchdowns. Definitely won't complain, as we see a handoff here early for West Chicago. A gain of a couple here for the Wildcats, as we'll see their offense unfold here. I know I don't expect a pass here early, but we will see. You never know. Their approach when looking at tape this week may have been to, sprinkle in a couple of interesting pass plays. We'll see what their offensive staff has in play here for their matchup against the Bulldogs defense tonight. But got to hope that front four can contain this running game, as I believe that's Naranjo slips free. That might be a first down, and boy, he just keeps going. That entire offensive line for the Wildcats is just pushing back and forth. Finally, a whistle is blown. There's a bit of a scrum on the bottom there. He'll get up a 14-yard gain for Naranjo. So these guys can move it, and this offensive line will plow through as well. Yeah, a lot of big guys there up front. And we talked about it. Naranjo is a little bit undersized for a quarterback, but he's quick and he's shifty, and he is tough. So he's going to be able to get through those lines real quick and just be able to slip out of those tackles. You can call him a quarterback or a running back. He does more of the running, obviously, with the stat sheet. 14 touchdowns, over 150 yards on the ground a game, which is really incredible. But we talked about it when they played Elgin here at home, actually. It was a game that we got to cover. They held their own against 2 running backs that came in with over double-digit yards per carry. So this front four is going to have to continue those kinds of performances if they want to come up on top big here tonight.
2-yard gain.
And Brian Rampillo has really picked it up this season. This was a guy we didn't expect to have a big season at the start of the year, but these last couple weeks he's just been showing out, and Coach Styler has loved it.
Yeah, he's the commander there in the middle. He has the neck plate, which I think strikes fear into opposing running backs. It's a sight to see. I know I wouldn't like to see that if I tried running it up the gut against Big Fit 15. Would scare me. As it's a keeper here from Naranjo. He'll get a gain of a couple here. Continue to move forward. And boy, it's just a back and forth. Once that ball gets met, you see everybody on the field, all 22 guys, move towards that ball as the West Chicago Wildcats inch toward midfield here.
It's going to be a physical one.
Wildcats will have
Yeah.
a 3rd down and 1.
That's for sure. We might see a lot going on the ground game here tonight. Maybe Ratana gets things going as well. We'll see how the run defense holds, but we know that secondary for the Wildcats should be on the weaker side.
And we do talk about it. They do have a giant defensive line, as Michael Jaime is sitting at about 6 foot, 300 pounds. So
It's a big fella right there.
pretty tough to get through.
High snap controlled by Naranjo. Will hand it off, and they will meet at the 50. Will it be enough for a first down? Yes, it will. So continue to move the chains here as the Wildcats move across the field toward the Bulldogs side. Got to think they keep going on the ground here as it's worked so far, have back-to-back first downs on their first drive. So you see the defensive players and all the players alike here for the Bulldogs in pink here tonight. As a pitch outside, I believe that's to Sabirski, finds himself out of bounds past the 45-yard line around the 43. Another nice pickup there for the Wildcats offense.
Getting going quick, not starting slow. I think that's a great start for the West Chicago offense.
Yep.
RB's defense not sleeping, but they definitely weren't prepared for this aggressive run attack from West Chicago.
No, we'll see how they pick up and hopefully get used to it and contain it eventually. You don't really see these long nagging drives from opposing offenses. Normally it's quick and they go down the field in about a minute or less and score. But this has been a drive that you'd love to see if you're West Chicago's offensive coordinator. Taking time off the clock, gaining time of possession, which is a big thing across all levels of football. You want that ball for the majority of the time in the game, first and second half, and that'll win you football games if you're good enough with the ball in your hands. So far, so good for the Wildcats offense tonight as they keep chugging forward bit by bit, chunk by chunk in the running game.
Aiden, do you think we're going to see a throw in the first half?
From West Chicago?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. That's a great question. So far, I don't think so. Just because the ground game is working, right? They have no reason to, shy against it. So we will see. But an interesting question posed there, a fair one at that. I think we're all going to get out of our seats if we see him drop back to throw here in Naranjo, or one of the guys that they trot out there to command the field at quarterback, as the whistle is blown. And a timeout for the Bulldogs. So the coaching staff doesn't like that slow start on defense. Wildcats in command, already on the Bulldogs side of the field, past the 40-yard line. As Styler and company will talk it over as you see them in the huddle here. Coach Griffin getting it going, telling these guys, hey, we got to shut them down and gain momentum back here to let our offense score first in this matchup. Now, a guy that I wanted to look out for as we're still on defense here, get Nico Caputo going tonight. We thought coming into the year, Colin, that we would see Caputo featured more in the backfield, maybe in tandem with Jacob Ratana. But as the season has gone on, he's become an excellent option for whoever is at quarterback, whether it's Giancarlo Garcia or Braden Novak that's patrolling the offense out wide in Caputo. He's a smaller guy, not super tall, but he's proven to be great between the tackles and be physical with the ball in his hands. I think a lot of guys at this level will be scared of the contact. But Caputo, I mean, we've seen it on some chunk plays from him this season. He takes it head on, and at times, he puts his team on his back. I think Coach Styler has spoken highly of him before in the playbook, and it's clear the staff has trust in the junior. I'd love to see a couple of big plays here from number 3 tonight, but obviously got to get this drive over with if you're the Bulldogs defense to get the ball in his hands. Just want to shout him out there real quick as Naranjo will keep it again, fake handoff, tries to break off a couple tackles as he moves across the 35. So, I mean, maybe it's not in those big chunk plays, but bit by bit, this West Chicago offense is moving as they go hurry up here. Naranjo will hand it off to his man there, get past the 30. So bit by bit, like we keep saying, as there's 7:16 and running to go here in the first, this Wildcats offense is doing their job as best as they possibly can right now, I think, Colin.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just the way the offensive line is playing right now, these gaps are wide open.
Yeah.
And the Dogs' defensive line right now, they're not finding ways to close them.
Nope.
So as long as these gaps are open all night, they should have a field day.
So we see another pitch outside, breaks off a couple tackles there for Zabierski. Gets a couple yards, but the Dogs shut that one down, all things considered, from this drive. 6:45 and counting. So a name that we haven't actually brought up a lot this season, and Damian Nieves, number 55. He's a bigger guy, as you see him in the pink arm sleeve, lining up in the middle. He's like we said, he's a big fella, but he can get after the quarterback. Just haven't really seen it a whole lot this season. Maybe he's a ticking time bomb and could get a momentum swing going here for the Bulldogs defense tonight early. There's another run there from Naranjo. They're just going to keep this thing moving if it's still going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. And Damian, last season, he had a breakout year. He, junior, started on varsity. Yep. Pretty significant player for them. Came as a captain, and he's a great leader. Like, from everything I've heard from these football players, Damian is one of the best leaders on this team. And he's bound to have a breakout game. 3rd and 3
for Naranjo. And it looks from up here that he might just have enough. Under 6 minutes to play here in the first, and it's been all Wildcats, literally. They have had the ball this entire first quarter so far. This is not something we've seen yet, Colin, at least on the broadcast. Total control from the opposing team here so far in the first quarter on offense. Maybe things would be different, obviously, if the Bulldogs got the ball first, so they will have to respond regardless of how this drive ends for the Wildcats offense.
Absolutely, and I think the couple games we've called, the Dogs have sped up the opposing team's offense, but so far Naranjo and the offense have just been super calm, super controlled, and just on their timing.
Yep, it's paid off for them. The same play call again there to Naranjo. They're just going to keep chugging. If it's going to work, they're not going to stop there with numero dos in Naranjo. Like we said at pregame, we were watching him, and we saw him take a couple throws. He has to throw pregame. He can't not. They do have to warm up there, believe it or not, even if they don't throw the ball in the game. He's a smaller guy, but has a solid arm, so I would be interested to see if they pass at least one time in the first half here, Colin.
I mean, those tosses look nice. Yeah. Definitely can't complain from the senior quarterback.
Yeah. 2nd and 5, inching towards the red zone. That high snap, a little bit of a slower play there, and he's wrapped up there. Big number 15, Mr. Neckplate, Brian Rimpilla. Nice open field tackle there. 3rd and 4, another 3rd down, big 3rd down here inside the red zone as they inch closer by each play towards that blue end zone. Got to keep them out here if you're the Bulldogs to maintain any momentum that you want back after this drive.
Absolutely. This would be a huge stop. I think we're going to get a timeout from West Chicago here.
As we will. They will talk it over on offense. Maybe they scheme up a pass. We will see. As the Bulldogs defense will also trot to the sideline. Coach Griffin continues to talk him up here. Not putting doubt into him, but saying, hey, this isn't anything that you haven't seen so far this season. You saw a Fenton team that ran their offense very similarly. Why can't you stop these guys, you know, and really just make your presence felt on defense? I think the Bulldogs can and will do that eventually, but it has to come as soon as this first drive to set the tone here.
Yeah, no, and Coach Seiler says it all the time, set the tone.
Yep.
And I think
it's gotten engraved into my brain.
Absolutely. And so far, West Chicago has been the one setting the tone. They have marched down the field. And I just think one big stop from the Dogs defense here will do a lot of service for the rest of the game.
It's very notable.
Something you don't see a lot is 2 timeouts called on the first drive of the game. I think it's very unusual to see that.
It is, as we still have a whole other quarter to play after this one in the first half. They won't get those 2 back until the 3rd quarter. 8 minutes this time of this drive for the West Chicago offense. How will it end? Will it end in 6, or will it end in the Bulldogs making a big stop here? We will see in the upcoming plays. 3rd and 4, Naranjo rolls outside, tries to cut back in, meets a wall of Bulldogs and is met up high. That's the kind of play you need to set this tone. Oscar Aguirre shrugs it off, said, hey, it was going to take a minute, but we got that stop that we needed. Should be an interesting look here on 4th down for the Wildcats. You think they go with it here?
I think they're going to kick it here. I just think getting points on the board is absolutely massive just to even start the game. But it looks like they're going to huddle it up here.
So 4th and 5 as it's listed here with 3:45 to go in the first would be a huge swing after a very, very long drive. You would see the offense out for the first time here tonight if they got the stop here. Can the Bulldogs keep this Wildcats offense out of the end zone? The Dogs versus the Cats tonight. Can the Cats be swifty enough to run away from them? Naranjo looks to pass, he'll throw it. He's got an open man and he drops it. Are you kidding me? Wow, Ian Lemus, the junior, with a huge drop, and it'll be a turnover on downs. That is a catastrophic play there for this West Chicago offense to end what was a beautiful drive up until the very end there.
I mean, maybe that's why they're not passing the ball. I mean, the run game was just absolutely beautiful that entire drive, and the one wide open pass play they get is just going to go right through the hands. I think, wow, it was just a great drive overall for them, but that's just not the way you want it to end.
Absolutely not, and it will take a big response here from this Bulldogs offense. Make no mistake, they're going to have to respond by putting points on the board, whether it's 3 or it's 6.
And we got G and Bubba. Bubba at quarterback. G is actually going to be playing a little bit of running back for the rest of the season, as I did bring up a couple games ago, but we've seen it a lot more these last couple games.
And it's worked effectively. Novak will throw. First play, he'll go deep. Does he have Morozic to Jesus, and it's off the hands. 2 big drops here on both sides, on both teams here early on their offensive side. A drop touchdown for West Chicago. He dropped a very big play from number 6. He's got to get those hands ready here tonight if he wants this Bulldogs offense to strike early.
I mean, beautiful ball from Braden Novak. I mean, that was
over the shoulder.
Right on the money, right where you want it. Just tough play for 6 there.
Morozic de Jesus is not a kind of guy that'll get in his own head about that, though. We'll see. We've seen it before. One of the broadcasts that we did earlier in the season, he had a very brutal drop pass, but he came back, responded with a touchdown later in the game. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that from number 6 again here tonight, as you know that they're going to target him eventually, maybe even this drive again to get things moving. As a handoff here, we'll go to Garcia. We'll try to make a move outside. There he goes. Garcia finds some room. Has a couple of men to beat. Does he have the speed to do it? Down the sideline. 40, 30, 20. And he's knocked down. A late flag. We'll see what it is. As of right now, he's inside the 15. If it's a holding, that'll be a huge play called back. The offense is moving forward. We'll see what the call is. The crowd goes silent, awaiting what this penalty might be. The Bulldogs offense is staying around where Garcia was tackled, so you'd have to think it was on the Wildcats defense. No flag, so they pick it up. A huge play there on the ground. We talked about it, that two quarterback set, 1 quarterback, 1 running back. The feet of Garcia, they get it done every time.
I mean, call him a running back if you must. That was a great run, and you're not seeing Ratana in there, but we're going to keep Garcia in there. Maybe get another nice run out of him, hopefully get 6 real quick.
That's what West Chicago should have told themselves. If it's working, don't run away from it. They'll keep Garcia in there at running back. If it works again, they'll continue to chug with number 1 there in the pink. As they do just that, Garcia tries to cut back. He'll get 2 or 3 there on first down. So a huge flip of field position here. The Bulldogs started it around the 10-yard line of their own side of the field, and just like that, in 2 or 3 plays, they're already inside the West Chicago Wildcats red zone here, as I believe another timeout will be taken, probably from the Bulldogs here. There is an injured player on the field. Big fella down there, number 78, who we actually took note of earlier today. That is Michael Jaimez, the senior, listed at center and nose guard. So the big man up the middle on both sides of the ball will hobble off the field. Hope he's okay. Obviously an impact player for them. When you see a big fella out there in pads, you know he's going to get some playing time.
Yeah, and we talked about the hot start for West Chicago. I mean, here come the Dogs.
Yep.
I mean, G absolutely just blew that up. Started off with a deep ball to X, and they came out gunning. They want to get the ball in the end zone right away.
Yeah, first drive, Dogs had to chase the Cats around the field. Now the Cats will have to chase the Dogs around the field. All it took for the Bulldogs, and this is what the big difference we've seen here so far tonight. They were moving, but very slowly, right? They kept getting their first downs. That was about a 10 to 12 play drive there on offense. Obviously didn't end the way they wanted it to, but just in 2 or 3 plays, this Bulldogs offense can flip the script in the blink of an eye. So we'll see what they do here. Maybe go back to Novak's arm. A flag here is thrown. It'll be a false start on the offense. And they will move 5 yards back on second down. You don't want these penalties early. You want to keep your momentum. And flags like that pre-snap, they can kill a drive. We'll have to see if the Bulldogs can respond on second and long. Novak takes the snap, looks to throw. Got time and has his man. The man I took note of in Nico Caputo with a nice route towards the sideline and moves the Bulldogs inside the 5. They keep chugging along here.
Absolutely. The speedy receiver, I mean, when he breaks, he's open every time.
Yes.
I mean, so quick and so strong, making that catch in traffic as well.
As first and a couple here for Riverside Brookfield. Can they capitalize? Jacob Ratana, for the first time tonight, I believe, is lined up in the backfield. Do they hand it off? First play for Ratana. Cuts up the middle, and he's in. A way to respond for this Bulldogs team, this Bulldogs offense in particular. After the big drop from the Wildcats, the offense responds, and they put 6 on the board, penning 7.
I mean, they look great. That was a great start to the game. Can't ask for much better from the offense.
Yep.
And I mean, even if he's not in at quarterback, he's still making these huge, significant plays. Yep. Bubba Novak putting the ball where it needs to be. I mean, this team, like that first drive, you can't ask for much better.
Yeah, I'm sure this wouldn't be the first time he's heard the comparison, but looks a lot like Justin Fields out there and Giancarlo Garcia as a flag is thrown. Went through from Bilo Brodek. We might see a re-kick here.
There was a late sub from West Chicago.
Late sub. Colin cleans it up for me on the broadcast. Appreciate you, brother. As we will have a replay coming in here of the Ratana run up the middle for 6. And he's the guy that they really used to set the tone here for this Bulldogs offense. Number 0 knows how to punch it in better than anybody.
Yeah, and Styler talks about it all the time. Even if Jacob is not making significant plays in the run game, he's doing other stuff, making big blocks, just doing everything that's gritty to get the Dogs into the end zone. And he's just been a huge player for the Dogs offense this year.
Yeah, Ratana does the dirty work. There's no doubt about it. So what will we see the second drive for the Wildcats? Will we see what we've seen already in the first drive, 10 to 12 plays, a lot of time off the clock as we only have 1:11 here to go in the first. Could this drive bleed over into the second quarter? You'd have to think so with the way they operated last drive, but we will see. Can the Bulldogs, I think it really comes down to this, can they shut down their run game?
I mean, can I take a guess at what they're going to do?
Yeah, right?
Well, they're
pretty safe assumption.
Yeah, I think they're going to stick with what's working. They drove the ball off of probably 12 straight runs and switched to the pass. I mean, the way they did it, it worked out so well. Just a tough drop from Ian Lemus.
Yeah, it's a big what if there. If they had scored, what would the momentum have looked like for the Wildcats? Would they have carried it over on defense? As momentum is a huge part of football, no matter the level you're playing. The ball flopped over on Bilo Brodek pre-kickoff. We'll have to put it back up. As the second drive incoming for the Wildcats offense. I think they're going to run. I think you think they're going to run. I think the entire world thinks that they're going to run here on their second offensive drive of the game as we inch closer to the second quarter. Is this an onside kick from the Bulldogs? Boy, a lot of laundry here early on the field. That'll be a false start. So jump the gun there on the special teams play, trying to get the ball back. I don't think they wanted another long drive from the Wildcats offense. So they tried getting it back in one play on special teams. Didn't work. Got to think they'll just kick it away now that they know what's coming.
Yeah.
What could be coming.
Well, Bilo Brodek has the leg to pin them back, so I don't think it's a terrible idea just to try to put it in the back, maybe make them take it out.
I think this coaching staff also trusts their special teams to make a big play as well, whether it's a punch out on the kick returning team of the opposing side. I think he trusts all 3 phases of this football team to get the job done. As another knuckleball there from Bilo Brodek will bounce into the end zone after a couple of rolls. So this Wildcats offense will take over with 1:11 to go in the first. What have you liked so far from this Bulldogs defense? I know that, we saw a very long drive against them, but I do think that it was worthy to take note of that there were a lot of only 2 or 3 yard chunk plays for the West Chicago offense. I think intermittently they're doing a good job of shutting the runs down. It's just every other play they're breaking free for 10 or 11 yards. Yeah,
absolutely. I think the thing I've liked most is they're staying persistent. They're not backing down from the challenge.
Then don't break.
Yeah, no, they're not going to break down tonight. I think they're going to continue to stay strong. We've seen it before. This is a tough and gritty Bulldogs defense.
As we await the snap here, Naranjo under center with a man that appears to be ready to block behind him. He will get the handoff instead, get a couple of yards there. Going to be interesting to see if maybe the Bulldogs start trying to punch at the football, a peanut punch, as really all they do is run. I mean, there's no hiding it. So the Bulldogs, if they want to force a turnover, they're going to have to do it by trying to knock that ball out in any way they can.
Absolutely. And number 58, Marcos Estrada, limping a little bit after that play.
Yep.
Big offensive lineman, 5'9", 225. I mean, some of these guys are just massive on the West Chicago offensive line. And
so big that it's hard to stay healthy. As we saw Jaimez go down, big number 78 earlier. Naranjo breaks free outside, but running more laterally than vertically there. Only gets a gain of a couple there. Gain of 4 on second down here. So a 3rd and 1 here. Can the Bulldogs get the stop? Got to think that they run it here as we hear Swag Surf and John Evans runs out onto the field. Big play here for the Bulldogs defense. If they can get this back, it would be a huge play to gather more momentum for them heading back onto the field on offense.
No, absolutely. And I could see West Chicago going for it if they get stuffed here.
Yeah.
Taking a chance.
As that will wrap it up for the first quarter. So we will have to wait a little bit to see what they will do to start the second quarter on 3rd and 1. So this Bulldogs offense, it took, what, 3 or 4 plays to get that ball into the end zone after they started at around the 8-yard line of their own side of the field. Giancarlo Garcia, dynamic with the ball in his hands, whether he's ready to throw it or tuck it and run. That kid is a game changer for the black and blue every single game, every Friday.
No, absolutely. And it's going to be tough to game plan for him, for the Bulldogs, for the rest of the season. You got Braden Novak in the backfield. He can run and pass. Giancarlo can run and pass. I just think it's these two, even though they're in this quote-unquote quarterback battle, then the fact that they can stay close and still be good friends while fighting for a starting spot, I just think it's great to see out of both of them, and it's really helped the Bulldogs offense so far this season.
For sure. If we take a closer look week by week at what the Wildcats have faced and how they've fared, week 1, 2, and 3. Well, weeks 1 and 2 they won. Week 3 they lost to Glenbard South. They won first 2 weeks against Round Lake at their place to start the season off 40-6. They won against Joliet Central 64-33. They started their season 3-1, but have lost their last 3. So they don't have much momentum at all going into this game. The Bulldogs are going to continue to have to take advantage of that if they want to win this one. As the field will be flipped. Wildcats going towards the opposite end zone now here in the second quarter as we're ready to get things underway. 16 on the play clock here. Naranjo will run it up the gut, and it appears that he'll get what he needed as Rampillo tried to stuff him there, but I don't think it's enough. Looked like a bit of a softer approach there on 3rd and 1 from this front 4. Probably didn't get the push that they needed to get that 3rd down stop.
Absolutely. I just think they're not trying to get caught off guard with another pass, because with the way the Wildcats ran that play,
caught everybody off guard, I think.
Yeah, I think everyone was so off guard, and he was wide open. Yeah. I think if he caught that in the open field, I think that's going for a lot of yards, and that's just not what they want, is for this offense to get momentum.
Yeah, every touchdown early on is a game changer, and that would have been huge for the Wildcats to set the tone as Zabierski almost breaks one free. Another nice gain there on the ground for the Wildcats offense as they continue to move bit by bit. Zabierski, another impact player for this offense.
It's going to be a nice tackle there from number 5, Warren Mason. I think
he wraps up.
He does, and he's been great all year. I think he's definitely all-conference potential, and he's just had a great year with 29 total tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 block kick, and 1 tackle for loss. I think it's definitely all-conference type of numbers.
Yes. And his teammate, his partner in crime back there in the second level of the defense, Oscar Aguirre, similar stats, 33 total tackles, 14 by himself, 19 with another squad member, a sack, and 4 tackles for loss. These guys know how to wrap up better than anybody. And another nice play there on the defensive front. That's Oscar Aguirre, who I was just speaking about, wraps up there off the big fella on that rush there for West Chicago. That was Adriano Rivera on the rush, the senior, 5'10", 235. Looked like a bigger fella up here. They got a lot of chunky guys down there that are impact players for the Wildcats.
Yeah, even with the loss of number 78, Michael Jaimez, you're still looking at some of these guys out there, and they're just gigantic. I mean, just including saying some of the names. Joseph Mercandante, he is 5'10", 235.
The big play there from the defense. Big fella, one of our own there. Big number 68 on the tackle for the Bulldogs. Nice play there. Excuse me, that's Andrew Oliveris on the tackle, up at the nose. Those are the kinds of plays you need from your defensive front to contain this Wildcats offense and get them off the field as soon as possible. They've already taken 3 minutes off as we are 9:18 to go here in the second on offense. It's been all Wildcats so far in the second quarter. Can the Bulldogs get off the field? That remains the big question. Noreno tucks it outside, and a nice hit there from Warren Mason. Puts the shoulder down and flexes on the guy as Noreno is down. He is slow to get up. Boy, that's huge for the Wildcats. Gotta hope he's okay. After the hit from Warren Mason, Coach Griffin will rally his guys further away from the man down on the field. Carter Noreno, the injured Wildcat, after that play.
And you mean they said it last year, 5 can't hit, but so far this season, 5 has just been laying the absolute boom, and you see it there. You don't want to see a guy get hurt, but definitely you want to see these types of plays out of your D-backs.
I mean, Ren just looks like a pro with his build. I don't mean to go too crazy here, but he's quite the player. Noreno gets up, walks off on his own power. You like to see it. Hope he's okay. We will see maybe Lucas Wheat here, number 12. We saw another guy at quarterback under center for them in warm-ups and pregame. Maybe they trot him out here. Maybe Liam Zabierski comes in, another guy who they label as quarterback, but has yet to take a snap there tonight. We see number 1 out there, and we see number 12. So that'll be Lucas Wheat. His first snap of the game comes on a big play where our theme song, Swag Surfing, roars out. Big play here for Lucas Wheat. Maybe they go safe, tuck it and run, or maybe they test the arm of big number 12. The senior quarterback, 6 foot 170. He'll tuck it outside to Zabierski on a 3rd and 5. I don't think that'll be enough. They wrap up right around the 50-yard line. We'll see where they spot it.
3-yard gain on the play.
And it will not be enough. 2 yards short there from the first down. This offense is not getting off the field.
Absolutely, and you saw Zabierski there just hobble off the field. That's not a great look for the West Chicago Wildcats as you just watch 2 of your best players go down on back-to-back plays.
As we will see a timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final of the half with 8:03 to go here in the second. So in the first 16 minutes of the game, all 3 timeouts of theirs are gone. The Bulldogs have used 1, but that's pretty noticeable as well.
They got 1 left. They've used 2. It's three total timeouts. Like in this game, Bulldogs used 1 on their defensive drive, and then Wildcats used 1 on their first, and 1 now.
Go ahead, shut me up. Colin's my security blanket. The man, the myth, the legend. Wouldn't do it without you, Colin. My goodness. As we await this Wildcats offense to come back out on the field, you see Coach Griffin hyping his men up there, hoping to get a stop here on a big 4th and 2 play at around the 49-yard line of the Bulldogs. What will transpire here? A big play here in the second quarter. 7-0 Bulldogs.
We're going to see Michael Jaimez back in here.
Big number 78. Man that we've taken note of a bunch, surely off of his size here tonight. 2 men motion out into the backfield, will motion back up, seemingly to block for this Wildcats offense. Wheat scans, takes the snap, quick handoff, and that'll be a first down for the Wildcats. Slowly but surely, this offense keeps moving. As the tackle from Brandon Ruiz, the junior lineman out there, couldn't get there quick enough.
Looks like Naranjo is going to be coming back in. Seems to be moving just fine. Was able to run off the field.
Yep, on his own power. Now you see him back out here on a fresh set of downs, 7:38 and counting here for the Wildcats, trying to approach the red zone here. Right at the 45-yard line. We've only seen 1 pass tonight. Everything else has been on the ground. As that trend will continue, Noreno with the fake handoff, and he'll get spun up at around the 40-yard line. So another half first down gain for this Wildcats offense.
And something we might want to take note of is this offensive line going to die?
Yeah.
They're doing a ton of blocking, ton of running. I just think it's going to get to a point where they're going to get tired, and this Bulldogs defense is going to be tired too. It's just going to be the battle of grit and who can continue to go.
I do think it's important to take note of that because, you know, the run game is cool and all, but after a quarter or 2, this Bulldogs defense, which is very skilled, they'll start to sniff it out. There's no doubt. So we will be interested to see maybe coming in the second half after the first 24 minutes of this ball game, maybe they will be forced to change up their game plan a bit here. 2nd and 5, they'll tuck it and run it again. And that's a powerful run there. Will try to be brought back late there on the play. But that's Adriano Rivera, has a couple of carries here tonight, all of them of which have been effective so far. He's slow to get up. His helmet is off. Physical game, that's for sure, Colin, so far tonight. It's kind of your old-style football game, a lot going on the ground. Giancarlo Garcia, the big play here so far tonight off their one drive through a quarter and a half, which is crazy to think about. The Bulldogs always have all the momentum here, but the West Chicago Wildcats are pulling a very interesting tactic purposefully right now in really controlling the game with time of possession. We haven't seen that against any of the Bulldogs' opponents so far this season.
And timing might go towards the Bulldogs here. If West Chicago does get in the end zone, Bulldogs will get another drive, and they do receive the ball at halftime.
It is important to take note of. The Bulldogs will try it out second half with that football, assuming they play it safe on special teams. So Adriano Rivera, a guy that we really didn't take note of pregame, big fella, 235 at 5'10", the senior, has had a couple of carries here tonight. All of them, like I said, have been effective for this Wildcats offense to keep them moving on each of their drives. 2nd and 6 here, right at around the 28-yard line of the Bulldogs. 5:23 to play. Tuck it and run it again, but that defensive line is all over this one. He has stood up, and it'll be a gain of only maybe one here. Jaden Barrett there in on the tackle. I think this is a game, Colin, we mentioned his name at the beginning of the game, Damian Nieves. I think this game kind of is more his speed, right? This is on the ground. These running backs are running right at him, so make your presence felt, wrap up, and make yourself a notable player in this game if you want to win.
I think we can expect at least one strip fumble tonight.
We'll see.
A lot of running, a lot of room for error there.
Definitely a lot of room for error. 3rd and 4, another 3rd down. Rivera will take it, might be just short. We'll see where they spot it. As they will say, it is a 1st down for the Wildcats, so Swag Surfing gets shut off quickly. Wildcats shut ourselves up here. We'll get just enough for a 1st down. As they inch closer to the red zone, are just now 2 yards out of it. At the 22. 4:18 to play here in the second.
And we talk about how impactful the Bulldogs cornerbacks and D-backs are. We're not going to see a ton of them tonight due to the fact that they're not going to pass the ball. So they just need to find ways to make themselves impactful.
I think this Bulldogs front four, as you see a stop there on Naranjo, I think Naranjo, you can clearly see that when he's healthy and when he's not limping off the field, he's a quick and twitchy player. But the Bulldogs have done a solid job so far tonight of not allowing him to break free for a couple. Coming into this game, we saw 14 touchdowns on that kid's max preps. We were like, okay, this kid must be a baller. And you can see glimpses of that tonight, but the Bulldogs have not allowed him to break free for a big score tonight. They got to keep it that way.
And this is where West Chicago slipped up last drive. Had a couple not so great plays after a great drive. Ended up turning the ball over.
Naranjo will keep it. Chug forward for a couple more. Met by a bunch of Bulldogs, but not before he can get around a half 1st down, as he'll keep it moving inside the 15.
And you think his body's got to hurt. I mean, he's taking a hit pretty much every play. You wonder how he's going to feel towards the end of this game.
Yeah, like I said, this is old-style football, man. So they're going to keep chugging. 95 carries for 838 coming into this game for Naranjo. Zabierski, 39 for 467. Like we said, Zabierski has one passing attempt all season, and it went for nearly a 70-yard touchdown. Zabierski has yet to see a snap at the quarterback position tonight, but maybe something that we can keep an eye on as this game progresses. It's a 4-yard gain, as big number 78 is slow to get up again.
Jaimez.
Zabierski in the huddle here. One of their impact players who Colin noted limped off the field earlier in this drive, which feels crazy. That felt like it was 10 minutes ago, and it might have been with how this drive has gone. I mean, we are 2 minutes away from halftime, and the Bulldogs have not had the ball yet. Time of possession is huge in the game of football. Naranjo tries to make a man miss, cuts back inside, and is down inside the 5. So it's going to take another, maybe a drop touchdown here from West Chicago to keep them out of the end zone, or a strong defensive front. So a timeout here from Riverside Brookfield. They'll talk things over and see how they want to attack this offense and keep them out of the end zone and coming for them to tie this game up.
I think we've talked about the defense all year. They've been just phenomenal in every single game, not giving up a lot of huge plays, not letting scores get ran up against teams that shouldn't be scoring all over them. Coach Griffin and the boys have just done a great job all year, and hopefully this continues into the playoffs into next week, all of this. And looking a little bit ahead into the playoffs, as West Chicago is fighting for a spot to get in right now. I think this is why they're going to play so tough against this Bulldogs team. Definitely playing their type of game, but they're definitely playing a lot harder with a lot to lose.
Yeah, we mentioned Fenton going into this one. They ran a similar kind of offense, but it didn't really seem like they had the same kind of personnel that this West Chicago offense offers. Naranjo and Zabierski, the two guys that we circled, but Adriano Rivera, a guy that we didn't really think much of pregame, making their presence felt in the ground game. Keep on moving this ball forward for this Wildcats offense. So this will be a 3rd and 2 at a very important spot inside the 5-yard line. We'll see what the approach is here. Naranjo will tuck it and run it. Is he met? He is, but where will he be spotted? I think that might be just enough for a 1st down. Very physical game so far, I've already noted, but that trend continues here as the Bulldogs defense will have to get ready quick here. Hurry up for this West Chicago offense. We'll hand it off to Rivera, and he is in for a West Chicago touchdown. So pending the extra point here, Colin, this one's all tied up as we inch closer to halftime.
And they did a great job that drive just draining the clock. I mean, they wasted a quarter's worth. So the Bulldogs are going to have to come out here firing, and they're going to be a little cold. They've been sitting around for probably 20, 25 minutes now. So
got hope they're warming up on the sideline for sure.
Got to get Braden and G getting some throws in, hopefully.
Yep. But why not run away from what's working? You know, Garcia on the ground game has been their spark so far in their limited offensive snaps, but they don't have a lot of time to work with as the Wildcats will try to go for 2. Is he met before that ball crosses the pylon? And he is stopped. So, what's that score, Colin?
6-7, Aiden.
All right.
The score is 6-7.
You folks at home, make the jokes if you feel like it's necessary. So the Bulldogs, I mean, bend don't break still, right? It's not a tie game after all. They're still up 7-6. I'm going to say it's 7-6 because Bulldogs first, obviously. 1:45 to play here in the second. We saw it in their first drive. There's only a couple plays, 4 or 5, and they found themselves in the end zone. They're going to have to do something similar here in a 2-minute drill situation on offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to wonder what type of passing plays they're going to draw up here.
Yep.
Are they going to go right back to the deep ball? Are they going to take a couple run plays as they do still have 2 timeouts left?
They can work this clock however they feel like it. They do have that flexibility here with a timeout at least to give.
I'm going to correct myself here. They have 1 timeout left.
There you go.
That's on
we
me.
both made mistakes on timeouts tonight. It's okay. We correct ourselves. That's what we're here for. 1:45 to play here in the second quarter. Maybe we see Morozic de Jesus get involved. He had that drop that would have moved him down the field. Garcia did that the following play anyways, so it's not like it totally mattered, but you want to get his confidence going as he is one of your primary skill position players. We'll see if they can do that here maybe on this drive with 1:45 to play in the second to flip that switch.
And someone we haven't talked about tonight, the kicker, number 50, Lincoln Jeffrey.
Are you kidding me?
Who's going to be 6'4", 270 pounds. I mean, you don't see it. Penn State's kicker is also 6'6", 290 pounds. So you really don't see anything.
Goodness.
But he could be going for an onside here.
He raises the hand. He's ready to shoot this ball out of the cannon as it will be a squib kick fielded nicely by John Evans, number 10. So solid field position. A late flag there. We saw Nick Baca get into a little bit of a hand fight with a player on West Chicago. Gotta hope that's not on the Bulldogs, because if it is, that will push them back from where they already had the ball at around the 40-yard line, which was nice field position. See if it's on the offense or the defense. Styler awaits as he looks for the referees on the call, as does every other coach. Maybe they just pick up the flag. Seems like the refs can't figure out, and it is on the Bulldogs. Styler throws up his hands. He is clearly frustrated. We saw it.
They're going to cancel out there. We're both going to get unnecessary roughness on both sides. The play fighting can't happen. I think every time we've been up in this booth together, there's been a little bit of extracurricular activities down there on the field. Cannot happen tonight with the way this game is going. Right,
especially in this situation. You don't want to alter your field position in any way pre-snap, especially with penalties, excuse me, as Novak will take the field here. 1:43 to play in the second. What can this Bulldogs offense do to try to get in the end zone and extend their 7-6 lead? Ratana will get the ball here. Only a couple before he's wrapped up. That's Trevor Sweeney, the senior, the outside linebacker, standing at 6'3", 180 on the tackle, as he appears to be slow to get up. So these guys are clearly tired, man, on the West Chicago front. Maybe not as much on their defense, but their offense, they got to be gassed heading into this halftime.
Well, absolutely. Their defense has barely been out there, but
yes,
their offense so far, if you're playing both sides of the line right now, you're going to be gassed.
The ref picks the ball up here. 1:16 to play in the second, as he will wave. Timeout, no. Might just be resetting the play clock. I'm not so sure what's going on up here. As we're looking for a change on the clock, sitting at 1:16, it's going to change back to 1:22. It's the Bulldogs with 6 extra seconds to play with here as the clock begins to run. Novak awaits the snap. He'll take it, looks to throw. Going deep for Karras. Can he beat his man? And it's overthrown. Looking for one of his speedsters there in 22. Can't find him as the ball was 5 yards too deep. 2nd and 9 here for the Bulldogs, 1:12 to play.
As I'm looking at the field, number 71, Daniel Ampran, holding his hand a little bit.
Yeah.
Took a little bit of an extra hit towards the end there, but definitely can't see this offensive line go down at all, because they've just been great all year, keeping both quarterbacks protected. I mean, definitely last year, something we talked about a lot was pass protection, and there wasn't a ton of it. But this year, they've just been fantastic.
Really keeping that quarterback clean. You don't want to see that starting 5 change by any means if it doesn't have to. Ratana flip it to Caputo, and he stumbles there. That's a huge loss of yards from Nico Caputo. Just really couldn't find his footing. Interesting play call there from Coach Styler, as the punt team will come out. So a disappointing 3-and-out for this Bulldogs offense, as West Chicago will call a timeout with 48 seconds to play. They'll talk over what they want to do as they get this ball back here on 4th and 16 for the Bulldogs.
You think they take the risk and go for it in?
I'm going to say no at 4th and 16 here on their own side of the field. They're going to kick this one away. You got to hope that the leg of Bilo Brodek can pin him deep. You don't want to give them any sort of good field position to play with here. Still a lot of time, maybe not for the Wildcats, as they've already played with over 18 minutes in this ball game, or 16 minutes in this ball game. But yeah, man.
Well, looking at John's stats so far this season, his punt long is 47. Definitely going to need to pin him a little bit further back than that, hopefully towards the 20-yard line. But
got to hope that Wink can carry it somehow, if it's even blowing the opposite direction.
Naranjo is going to be the punt returner too.
Dare I say the biggest punt so far of the year for Bilo Brodek. I mean, this is a huge play here. If Naranjo can take this back, we've seen how shifty he is in open field. He hasn't had this much room to work with. As Bilo Brodek will get it away, and it will move around the 45-yard line. It'll sit at the 43. So the Wildcats will have to make up 57 yards here before they can find themselves into the end zone and try and take the lead heading into halftime. They're sitting at 6 points. Bulldogs at 7. 1st and 10 with 39 seconds here to go in the first half.
Some quick math there, Aiden.
There we go. Testing that brain here. As the defense will take the field, another guy that we might look out for here tonight, number 8, Bone Crusher Biz, Ben Biskupik. Can he make a signature play on the defensive front? He lines up at outside linebacker edge. What can he do? Maybe he can make a big-time play that'll swing things towards the Bulldogs' favor. I think you definitely do circle those edges and those linebackers here on this Bulldogs defense, as they're the ones that are consistently in on these tackles. They're going to have to try and punch that ball out. We'll see what the approach is here. Naranjo will pitch it. Zabierski looking to throw. Will he do it? Yes, he will. And incomplete. No flag. So nice play there from John Evans in coverage. That ball was incomplete. Not swatted away, but number 4 couldn't hold on. So number 10, John Evans, the man, the myth, the legend, the senior, gets it done there in the defensive backfield and negates a big play here as we wind down this first half.
And I mean, Jonathan Ocampo for a second there looked pretty open, but John Evans flying in there to make that stop.
Ocampo, number 4, I guess worthy to take note, even though that they don't pass the ball that much. He is their leading receiver on the stat sheet coming into this game on the season. See if they go back to the run game. Naranjo will pitch it. Zabierski has a lot of room to work with. Going to have to catch up here in the second level. And Aguirre will make a big play to shove him out of bounds with 23 seconds to play. So Zabierski, big play there to make it a huge first down and move inside the 25-yard line at around the 20 for this Wildcats offense.
And Bulldogs defense had him in a pretty good situation there, but that little trickery caught them off guard, and they're going to end up pretty far up the field there.
Still 23 seconds to work with. They're sitting at the 21. So we will see if the Wildcats sort of feel some sense of urgency. Maybe pressure to pass here. Do they trust Naranjo to drop back and throw the ball? Ocampo, their leading receiver. Zabierski out in motion. He'll continue to run it, try to find a hole. He'll be tackled at around the 15-yard line, so a gain of 4 or 5 there for this Wildcats offense. Clock's still moving, under 10 seconds to go. It appears as if they'll go hurry up. They're out of timeouts here as they will spike it, so the clock will stop. There's a flag thrown on the play, and it's a false start, so they couldn't find each other's footing there on a bit of a rush play, so they have 3 seconds to go, and they're moved back. I think you just got to keep them out of the end zone here, Colin. That's it.
Absolutely, and I think right now is where Lucas Wheat is going to come into the game. Possibly the better passer out of the two.
Maybe the bigger arm.
Absolutely. You haven't seen either, really, but you're going to see both of them stay in, actually.
Interesting look here from West Chicago. They don't have any timeouts to play with, so they're... Oh, wow. They're going to call this halftime. So that will do it. Some confusion out on the field as the refs, people in stripes down there on the field, will gather together as they will call this first half. Wow, so looked like the Wildcats were in primary position to score there at the end of half, but it is wiped. So, you want to tell them the score, Colin?
It's going to be 6-7 going into the half, ladies and gentlemen.
Your Bulldogs are up 7-6 heading into halftime. A bit of a more cool game, not a lot going, not as dynamic as usual, but the Bulldogs are still on top. Should be interesting to see if they can continue that as we go into the second half.
For supporting the RBHS prom program. We love dancing with you. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Cameron Cimino here with RBTV, and I'm here with Peter Lobby. Now, Peter, how do you think the game is going so far?
Not looking too good right now. Yes, we're up, but this team is not that good in conference, and they're only holding us to 1 touchdown, so there has to be some adjustment we need to make because a 7-6 score in 2 quarters is not acceptable.
So as a senior, Peter, how does it feel like being an example for all the freshmen, representing school spirit here at RB?
I think, when you're a senior, it hits a little different. A lot more people look up to you. And I think you're kind of like the face of the school. Another thing, you're the oldest person, you're the oldest students. Another thing, you're like saying the ground, like the foundation for these other kids that are coming in shy, not knowing what to expect for high school, and however many years they come to RB. So I think as a senior, you have to kind of get that foundation laid and everything, and the better off you are, and the more people look up to you. I don't think that combo or that set of 2 things can be matched.
Yeah. So, you have a prediction for the end of today's game?
Bulldogs win. There should not be any reason that we lose to a team that's 4-3 right now, and we're undefeated. We should not lose and be handed our first L from this school.
You heard him. All right, thank you. I'm Cameron Semino. Back to you guys. I'm here with Brian Gibbs. Brian, how do you think the game is going so far?
I think it's going pretty good. We've done better in the past, but this seems like a pretty difficult team compared to what we're used to this year. So I think it's going pretty good.
If you were to give an advice to like one freshman here at RB that like wants to go to the football games, wants to show like team spirit, what would you tell them?
I know I'm not participating today, but make sure you participate in the theme and the chants. It makes it a lot more fun.
All right. So, if you were to like, how do you think the rest of the game will go? What do the Bulldogs need to do to like have a better half than they just had?
To be honest, I've been really watching that much, but I think they should all be in sync with each other and just, work together.
All right. I'm Cameron Semino. Back to you guys.
Prepare to be transported down the yellow brick road to a joyful celebration of the spirit and magic of Oz.
right, welcome back, folks, to the second half of Riverside Brookfield versus West Chicago, where the Dogs only find themselves up by 1 point. It's a 7-6 ball game with 24 minutes to play. Let's talk about our keys to the game. Well, not our keys to the game, but our keys to the first half that might bleed over. Time of possession. You got 24 minutes to play. You can't give 15-plus of those minutes to West Chicago's offense, which is what we've seen so far tonight.
Yeah, they've just been pounding it up the middle. I mean, some would say pause there, but they've just been blowing through the line. I mean, just every time. And you've seen it from everyone, Carter Ronho, Liam Zabierski, and even an unexpected name in Adriano Rivera. I mean, they have all been just flying through there.
Yeah, huge components in the run game. Obviously, we knew coming in that would have been, their forte, the running game, right? So they have not shied away from that. Those three guys have gotten the ball moving, and it's just a one-point game here.
Well, talking about it now, the Bulldogs are actually going to get the ball, and not something we've seen a lot of tonight. Usually the Bulldogs will get maybe 5 possessions in the first half.
Yeah. As it is a short kick, and they will just have to fall on it. Nonetheless, they will get the ball at their own 35-yard line, so better field position than it would have been a, touchback. Ferguson falls on it, so the Bulldogs will get the ball at their own 35 here to start this drive. Time of possession, something we talked about already. They had at least 17 minutes out of that first 24 of the game in their hands. I think the Bulldogs would appreciate and they would like a slower drive here, but still pound it into the end zone to tack on to their lead, which is only by 1 point right now.
And looking back at it, they have the double quarterback look again.
As they get the Wildcats to jump. That's a solid way to start off this second half on offense. We haven't even seen a snap yet, and they're already getting penalized, so can't complain there on that front just yet. 7-6 Bulldogs, 11:58 here in the third. Another thing, and we see him out on the field right now, number 1 with the pink turf tape. Get Giancarlo Garcia going. He had the biggest play for the Bulldogs here tonight in the first half with that 50-plus yard run down the sideline. As we see him get the ball here again, and he will try to spin forward. He'll be stood up around a gain of 1 or 2 there. But we know what he can do when he's capable in open space, right? He's very, very shifty, very agile, and he is a threat for this Bulldogs offense. So why not keep utilizing him if you've already seen him go for 50-plus here tonight and put them in position to score?
No, absolutely. And I've said it before, game planning for this team is just so unexpected because out of nowhere you could see Giancarlo switch to quarterback. You could see Braden switch, just sub out. You just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what kind of plays Bojack is going to call here.
Novak remains under center. That's what we've seen every snap on offense here tonight. As he will look to throw, looks out left, has got his man. That's Nick Baca in open space past the 50-yard line. And he will stay up, inching towards the 45. So a nice play there. Nick Baca, the junior, getting things going here on offense through the air.
Big target. I mean,
yes,
you wouldn't expect it, but Nick Baca is a big fella.
Yeah. Number 12. He is in the pink turf tape as well. A lot of Bulldogs players rocking that here tonight. Some with the cleats, some with the arm sleeves. Cool accessories here. Novak here under center. We'll look to the sideline for the play call. 10:47 and counting here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Garcia flips the side of Novak. Will we see a handoff here? Yes. No, we won't. It's a keeper from Novak. He'll shake off a tackle. As a Wildcat falls on him late, that's a solid gain to keep things moving forward for the Bulldogs offense. Don't really see Novak too often tucking it and running, but he's still moving forward. I mean, it's positive progress. So.
Definitely very capable. And just like with those two both in the game, the ability to run the ball, and even with Caputo, you just don't know where this ball is going. So many good targets on the field right now.
Yeah, even out of the backfield. As you see Caputo lined up there alongside Novak. Can we see a running play for him? Yes, we can. As he will cut it outside, break a tackle. Wildcat had him there on the shoulder pad, but he will continue to fight forward. What did I say at the beginning of the game? This kid puts his head down, and he will not shy away. Shout out Cam Scadaboo, a guy who runs the same way, who's finding his way on the New York Giants. I'm kind of getting some Scadaboo vibes from Mr. Caputo, number 3, showing his grit out there every time he has the ball in his hands.
No, absolutely. And you talked about it before the game, how this was the game for him. I think just looking at the type of situation, the type of defense West Chicago is going to run, I just think this is going to be his game, and I think we could see a couple more big targets out of him tonight.
Definitely, whether it's in the backfield or through the air, we saw he really put them in prime position, set them up inside the 5 for that touchdown earlier that has them up 1 right now. Garcia will get the handoff. He will find a bit of a crease in the middle of the field and fight forward for a nice gain there on this Bulldogs offense. It'll go for 6 here, so a 2nd and 4 set up, 2nd and intermediate for the Bulldogs.
And I think the Bulldogs' last drive, very quick 3 and out, did not look very good, and a couple messed up plays. But right now, they're looking great. I think just moving the ball wise, they're taking care of it, not rushing through the plays.
No.
I think they were very frantic to get back onto the field. They're nice and calm now, playing their type of football.
First drive of the second half, that's the kind of tone you want to set. Novak again will keep it and nearly break free there. Still a nice run from Braden Novak, his 2nd run just this drive, something we don't really see implemented into this Bulldogs offense from Sam Styler, but it's paying off here.
Not a lot of passing, so maybe a message from Sam Styler saying, hey, West Chicago, we can play your type of football too.
We'll steal your game plan if we have to. And they are doing what they've done so far as well. They've already taken 4 minutes off the clock. I think they'd like to keep that going here as they inch closer towards the end zone. They're taking no time to rush here, this Bulldogs offense. As the play clock winds down here. We'll take the snap. Novak will look. Has got his man there inside. Morozic to Jesus. Was the knee down before? Waiting a signal. Excuse me. They're going to call him short here. So, still, Bulldogs set up very nicely here in the screen game by Morozic de Jesus. Will we see another punch in here from Jacob Bertana? What will they do?
We're going to see Cisneros and Damian Neves getting in there.
Extra
maybe
blockers.
a little tush-push action coming up.
We'll see from the Eagles playbook. They still have Garcia out there. Maybe they just decide to hand it off to him. The hot hand here tonight for the Bulldogs offense has already put themselves in position to score once. Will Garcia tuck it in this time? He might have been met there before he crossed the goal line. And he was. So it'll be a 2nd and goal for this Bulldogs offense. Will they pound it here again, or will they opt to throw? They have the receiving threats to make moves into the end zone off their routes, but will they just opt to play it safe and try to punch it in?
Well, they got Rotana right back in there. Tough runner. Haven't seen a lot of him tonight, but
got that touchdown, but
got the touchdown. But other than that, he really hasn't been on the field all too much. So hopefully he could punch another one in.
As they will try and do just that. Barely touched. In for a touchdown. A huge score to open things up here in the second half. Extends the Bulldogs' lead, hopefully by 8, pending the extra point.
Well, add 2 more touchdowns on the run game to Jacob Rotana's stats so far this season. 60 carries, 446 yards, and now 8 touchdowns. I mean, he's nearly doubled last year's production. Yes. I think he's been an absolute dog all season, and we're going to hope Bill Bradick knocks this PAT down here.
A couple of broadcasts ago, I called Rotana a bowling ball, and I think that still stands true. You don't knock him down. Every time he's at that goal line, sure, he'll get touched, he'll get grazed, but to think he's even coming close to coming down is a hilarious statement as Bilo Bradick knocks it through. There's a flag, and it is a false start on the extra point. So we'll get the replay here. A slow-mo of the Rotana touchdown from a yard out, his 2nd of the night. You mentioned it, he's already really doubled last year's production. So coming into this one, he had the 60 carries for 446 yards, now 8 touchdowns. So those yards will be tacked on as well after this performance. But it's so refreshing to see because me and you, I think we could always tell, even last year as a junior, he always had that potential to be something special. And now you're really seeing it on full display here this year. They're going to need that come playoffs for sure.
No, absolutely. And tough PAT there for John Bill Bradick, getting moved back a couple yards, still manages to knock it down. Hopefully this offense can keep the production up when they do get the chance to get the ball on offense. But haven't seen it a whole lot tonight. Hoping the defense can get a big stop here, maybe get the ball back into their hands. Play a little bit with the fact that West Chicago's offense is going to get tired eventually. They can't block forever, can't run forever. The hits are going to start to take a toll on their bodies. I just think the Bulldogs defense needs to see that and take advantage of that when it comes.
Yeah, well, you also have to take into account that it goes both ways, right? The Wildcats offense, they can get tired too, but this Bulldogs defense, they're still trying to wrap these Wildcats up every time they're out there for every snap. So I think both sides are maybe not equally tired. I think you might have the Wildcats offense more fatigued going into their first drive of the second half. But yes, I wrote it down as one of the big points for the second half. Make big plays on defense. Takeaways is what I mean, right? We talked about Damian Nieves, a guy who hasn't popped up on the stat sheet, but is still a very impactful player for this defense. Ben Biskupic, another one. He had a touchdown earlier in the season. We need splash plays like that on this defense if you really want to run away with this one and not feel too much pressure with this offense taking so much time off the clock.
And one of the plays this special teams has liked to run so far this season is that onside kick. Little squib kick, have Brian Rampilla and Bennett Cannon get in there and just clobber whoever the ball is going into. Saw it at Glenbard South.
As they will attempt it again, and number 5 will get pummeled.
That's Bennett Cannon.
Derek Murphy, who got walloped there by the heat-seeking missile. Nothing on his mind other than the football there from Bennett Cannon. Still West Chicago ball, 6:40 to play here in the third. A bit of a slower game here tonight. I mentioned it before heading into halftime, but we haven't seen a game this close here up in the booth, Colin, and I'm enjoying it for sure.
No, I definitely am as well. And Derek Murphy, still a little shaken from that hit. I mean, got up pretty slow, took him a little bit, and they're going to have to replay the kick.
Interesting. I think Derek's probably clutching his fist saying, please don't hit me again. We'll see what happens here.
Well,
hopefully he doesn't get Scott Sterlinged. That would be bad. Bilo Brodick tees it up to kick it off here, 6:40 in the third. He'll take his time, hand in the air. We'll see if he kicks this one far away. We've seen a couple of knuckleballs from him so far here tonight. Nope. This time it's number 21, and they will just jump over him. We have another flag. Again, it's against RB, so the second in a row. It's a second in a row false start for this Bulldog special teams. These penalties have been a bit of a problem here tonight, especially on offense and special teams. You've seen a couple pre-snap, and now, I mean, this isn't what you want, right? Not by any means. It shows undisciplined football. I don't think the Bulldogs ever really represent that, but nonetheless, not a good look.
No, not at all. But Bilo Brodick tonight, every kickoff he's had, well, all 2 of them, he's put him in the end zone. So you see it a lot from him this season. Kicks are going to the end zone. Maybe this is a better look for them. Maybe make West Chicago take it out.
Long kick, 30 from the 30-yard line. As it'll die there at around the 40. They'll have to dive on it. A bit of a scary play there for the Wildcats special teams with the way that ball bounced. Bilo Brodick will pick up the tee and head to the sideline, as this Bulldogs defense will come out for really what is the biggest drive of the game. You can't have them score here because I think you know that they'll go for 2. And if they do that, they could tie things up. We'll see what the Bulldogs defense can do. Ideally, get them off the field as soon as possible and try to get the ball back before the end of the third quarter, right?
There's so many playmakers on this Bulldogs defense, and not one of them has really stepped up tonight. We haven't seen any tremendous plays from anyone on this defense. I'm waiting for this one big play to happen, and I think that will shift
this game in their favor for sure.
Absolutely.
Naranjo will pull the play off that we've seen the entire night tonight. Continues to fight forward for 3 yards by 3 yards. I mean, that's what it feels like. These kids, they aren't breaking free for 15, 20-yard runs. All they're doing is they're tucking it and they're running 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards. So, you know, nothing more than that. It's really going to take these Bulldogs on these short third downs to get them off the field.
Yeah, I think the short plays, they say it all the time, just chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. That's what they've done all night. And you said it, what we've seen all night, it's literally what we've seen all night.
Exactly.
They've thrown the ball maybe a total of 2 times, and every play it's just been a run and a run and a run.
Yep.
And you just think eventually the Bulldogs are going to jump on it. Yeah, catch up to it, but maybe jump the gun on a run, and Naranjo can pull it back, maybe throw it deep there.
Yeah, I'd certainly like to see another couple plays through the air just because it's more entertaining instead of seeing the same play over and over again. But like I said before, why run away from what's working? You're taking a lot of time off the clock and you're still in this game. They got to score here, though, for sure. Zabierski will cut it outside off another pitch. That's his favorite play. He'll cut outside. His speed shows there past the 45, down at the 41, out of bounds. That's a big first down pickup past midfield for the Wildcats offense.
Yeah, we talked about it. He was definitely a guy we highlighted before the game. I mean, just looking at his stats, I mean, 39 carries, 467 rushing yards, and 6 touchdowns. And he's had a couple plays where he's just blown it open, gotten gotten around a couple Bulldogs players. He had that nice run to get him in good field position before the end of the first half.
Yep.
And he's been an absolute unit so far this game.
My goodness, Rivera with the ball in his hands, he'll literally just put his head down and chug through whoever's in his way. That kid is a unit that the Bulldogs are struggling to stop in the short game here. This is a battle at the line of scrimmage tonight. You're seeing that first and foremost on both sides of the ball. So the Bulldogs are just going to have to try and overpower this front five on this offensive line for the Wildcats, get some push, and move these running backs back. Zabierski, I want to take note of this, is no longer 1-for-1 with a touchdown. He did throw. That was one of their passing plays. And John Evans, the GOAT, knocked it down, heading out of bounds. Naranjo will take it forward for a couple. Guys fall down there late after the whistle's blown. That's Naranjo with the ball. And as we see, my goodness, another man down there for West Chicago for what feels like the 5th time tonight. Michael Jimenez, hope he's okay. The senior,
I think it is his 5th time going down tonight. He's been down a lot. Big guy, tough to take care of your body, as we're going to hear swag surfing. And possibly the biggest 3rd down of the game.
I think so. I mean, this is a huge spot right at around the 34-yard line for this West Chicago offense. You get this stop here, you got to think that they're going for it on 4th down in this field position, but we'll see what they can do. Zabierski, well, he'll try and cut it outside. Did they make the tackle? A flag flies late. Styler seems livid. Aguirre livid as well. We'll see what the call is. And it'll be on both sides. It appears unsportsmanlike from West Chicago and RB. This game is getting chippy. We saw a similar flag with, I believe it was Nick Baca after the kickoff. They were having a little, hissy fight with their hands, and that got offset. So another play as similar as that. It'll still be West Chicago ball here. 4th down and 2, a huge play. Get this stop, you got the ball back, and just like that, you're up 8 with the ball in your hands heading into the 4th quarter. A huge play here tonight. Immediately, West Chicago takes a timeout as Naranjo gets set to snap. I think this West Chicago offense is scared of this play here.
I think it's possibly the biggest play of their season. I think fighting for the playoffs, you got to get a big score here. Got to keep the game close. And the Bulldogs offense just heated up on that last possession. Yeah, I think they know it's going to be very, very hard to stop them for the rest of this game. They know their specialty is on the offensive side. I think they got to get up the middle on this one.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing to take note of. I think this offense, really this entire team, but this offense in specific, has that inner confidence. They might not say it. They might not show it with swagger all the time, and it might not be 35-10 right now, Bulldogs. It is 14-6. This is the closest we've seen all season. I've said that, and I can't stress that enough. But I think they do think that, hey, if my defense gets out there, they get this 4th down stop, we're going out there and we're scoring. I think they really do have that inner belief in themselves amongst all 11 guys out on the field at a time. I think they all, like I said, truly believe in themselves, and I think they all look to each other on that sideline and on the field and say, hey, we're about to get this job done. Just do what you can do best.
And Styler talks about how close the team is. They have so much trust in each other.
Yes.
You don't see any arguments between the teams. You don't see any people like just getting into it with the same team. They are so interconnected. They hold each other accountable. This is the closest knit team Styler has seen since he's been a head coach here. Even said it for himself.
Yep.
He's just very excited to see what this team can do during the playoffs.
The crowd that is here on this windy October night is roaring on this 4th and 2. 3:06 to play in the 3rd. 14-6 Bulldogs. Play clock counting down here. A man will go in motion. Naranjo will look to throw behind the line of scrimmage, and he will get the 1st down and a whole lot more. That's going to be a touchdown for West Chicago, their biggest play of the night, possibly their biggest play of the season, with a Liam Zabierski touchdown.
And we got a lot of people yelling in the crowd here. You could hear it from in here, talking about an offsides
on West Chicago. Could they have missed it there? Not sure. We'd have to see the replay. But, I mean, hey, we said maybe they looked to pass here in the second half. They did just that. It was lateral, but they found themselves in the end zone. And if they get this, they convert this 2-point play here just like that. 14-14 ball game. sort of winding down into the fourth quarter. It's going to take a huge response from this Bulldogs offense. But like we said, that inner belief, I think it'll shine here in moments like this. Rania with a jump pass there. Wow, 2-point conversion converted there for West Chicago. That's Jaden Rosario, the senior tight end and defensive end, listed at 6'2". An interesting play there. Jump pass from Naranjo. Just like that, this ball game is tied up with 2:58 in the third.
And they're putting a lot of pressure on this Bulldogs offense right now.
Yes.
I just think that we said it. It's the biggest drive of their season, and they came out and they did what they needed to do. And there's going to be a lot of frustration on this Bulldogs sideline right now. They thought maybe, oh, big stop here. We got the game in the bag.
Yeah. Get ahead of yourself.
Gave up a big play. Now we're all knotted up with 2:58 left in the third.
As we await the kickoff here back towards the Bulldogs. 2:58 to go in the third, 14 all. Like I said, going to take a huge response from this Bulldogs offense. I think that inner belief, if it shines through here, is where it matters most all season. This is as close as it's felt at home here, at least. They had a close game earlier where they won 21-17. They came back down 17-7 just a couple of weeks ago. But this offense is going to have to shine through here this drive to end the third quarter.
Yeah, definitely. And big number 50. We're going to see him come out, maybe make a big kick here. Lincoln Jeffrey. Talked about it before. I don't think I've ever seen a kicker this big.
No.
Especially in high school.
Kid looks like a titan out there. He'll kick it away. Get some solid air under this one. It'll be Evans on the return. Can he find a crease here? We'll try to cut it back outside, and he will get bottled up at around the 35-yard line. We'll see where the whistle was blown and where they'll spot it. But nonetheless, Bulldogs offense going to have to make up some ground here and really find themselves in the end zone. I don't think we're talking 3 here. I think we're talking 6.
Even the potential to go for 2 here, I think it's a big enough drive to where getting 2 here would be absolutely huge. And Ratana on the goal line tonight has just been blowing through it. I mean, he's just such a powerful running back, so strong. And when he gets the ball in that type of situation, it's going to take a lot to stop him.
Absolutely. We've really only seen him in that certain situation here tonight when it's inside the 5-yard line. He's out here to start this drive for the Bulldogs. So that's a new approach here tonight. They obviously have a lot of trust in Ratana. We talked about him earlier. He has 2 touchdowns tonight. We'll see if they can get him going here in the middle of the field. We'll hand it off to him. Try to cut outside at the 40. He'll get plowed down at around the 44. Got upended in the air. And you continue to see some physical stuff after the play here between these 2 teams. I mean, hey, it's a 14-14 ball game heading into the fourth. This one's getting chippy. This feels like high school football, man.
No, absolutely. And you're seeing a lot of chippiness out of number 21, Neri Benulos Cabral. It's
quite the name there.
Yeah, quite the tongue twister. But seeing a lot out of him. Can't let this frustrate your offense. Another unsportsmanlike is definitely not what you're looking for here on the big. I keep saying it. All of these drives are just so huge.
Yep, back and forth. We haven't seen this yet. Novak finds a crease. Boy, we talk about Giancarlo Garcia and that quarterback's legs all the time. How about Novak tonight?
I mean, you don't really see it from him.
No.
You say it. Bubba's the passing quarterback. G's the rushing quarterback. But you've seen a little bit of both out of both of them tonight. I think less passing from G, but definitely rushing and passing from Bubba. He's looked like a great quarterback so far.
Showing that he can get it done on the ground and through the air. It's going to take a little bit more than that, though, as they line up at the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. Got to score here. We'll see if he puts trust in his receivers here. They look to the sideline. Ratana still out there as the back. G on the sideline. We wait the play here. Bilo Broddick in motion to the left side, alongside the left tackle. Maybe he has an extra blocker. He'll look to throw. Find Karras in the flat, past the 40. A nice gain there on 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Keep things moving and move closer to that end zone that they absolutely need to hit here.
Yeah, absolutely. And tonight we've seen couple things. They're putting Xavier and Jaden both on islands, letting them go to work on this secondary of West Chicago. And we've seen it all season. They're letting up a lot of points, but RB really hasn't found a weak spot in this defense yet.
Got to give credit where credit is due. This West Chicago team on both fronts has stepped up big tonight and rose to the occasion here against the black and blue. They'll look here and runs into his own player. I believe that's Caputo. Ball's out. Bulldogs will fall on it. Near disaster there. As after the 2 big plays from Caputo, sort of falling flat here in the second half. Clock is still ticking here with about half a minute to play in the third. They can run this into the fourth. We'll see if they opt to do so. Novak enters the huddle here, breaks it. Still the only quarterback out on the field this drive. Rotano alongside him. 3rd and 1, big play here. They can, like I said, decide to head it into the fourth. Will they take the snap? Look to the sideline. About 10 to play here in the third. We'll make a check. Ratana moves to the left side. And they will get this play off. They'll hand it to Ratana. A big play there from number 0. Keep the chains moving. And what better way to do it than putting it in your number 1 ball carrier's hands?
And you call him the bowling ball. I mean, he literally just bowled over 3 defensive linemen, even just knocking them over every time he runs, dude. Such a powerful running back. As we're going to see number 36, that is going to be Jaden Rosario, who just had the big 2-point conversion.
Yep.
A lot of injuries on this West Chicago offensive and defensive line tonight.
Battered and bruised. Long physical game as we still have 12 to play. I will say this also has felt like the longest game that I've been a part of here tonight. So far through my broadcasting career. I mean, this has been a fun one for sure. It's a lot of back and forth, a lot of gut punches from these respective offensive and defensive lines. But like I said, man, that's high school football. When it comes down to games like this, that really shows and proves your identity. If you come out on top in a game like this that's just so back and forth, kind of ugly in certain aspects, that's going to prove that you are a team to beat in Illinois. So big game for Riverside Brookfield, obviously. Big game for West Chicago. Huge game for West Chicago as well. It'll be interesting to see how this one ends as we have 12 to play heading into the fourth.
And we talked about it a little bit on the playbook. The Bulldogs, with the win here, most likely secure a home playoff game, which would be absolutely huge, get the atmosphere going. Last time we had one was probably, I don't know, 2022, 2023, around there, when Diego Gutierrez was the quarterback.
The good old days. Yeah, it's been a minute. I mean, look, that would be huge, and I think we know we walk these halls, right? I think everybody would pop out to that one. That would be a huge, huge game. Obviously, playoffs, just a different kind of atmosphere on any level of football. It's been a hot minute, and I think this Bulldogs team, even though it's tied here tonight against a bit of a lesser team in the Wildcats, they've rose to the occasion, like I said. The Bulldogs will rise to the occasion, regardless of how good the opponent's team is. As Garcia will be back in the game here. Novak alongside of 2-quarterback look. Garcia in as the presumed running back. 1st and 10 here. First play of the fourth quarter. Play clock down under 10. Slow to get things going here. And Novak will take the snap. He'll look left. Got a man. Is it Morozic de Jesus? It is. In stride. Huge play. Bulldogs strike again. Take the lead back. First play of the fourth quarter. How about it?
And that hits his double-digit touchdowns on the season. That's going to be his 10th of the season. I mean, how about that from your all-conference wide receiver?
My goodness. Number 6. Talk about rising to the occasion. Every time this Bulldogs offense needs a play, especially through the air, this kid comes in and balls out. As the Bulldogs set to kick in the extra point, Bilo Brodek been on point tonight. Got to get this one in. Knock on wood, as Colin just did under the table. Bilo Brodek will do just that. So a 7-point lead. Replay incoming of this dart from Braden Novak to his man, number 6, Xavier Morozic de Jesus. Double-digit touchdowns. What better way for it to come in a moment like this when they absolutely need it?
No, and some call that a blur, Aiden, as he just blew past his matchup and the safety as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
you blink and he's gone, Colin.
the Bulldogs wide receivers are so speedy.
Yes.
And you talk about it in Caputo and Karras and Xavier Morozic. They are all speedy. They all have maybe 4.5, 4.4 40-yard dashes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just insane. And add that with their skill and their catching ability. I mean, they might have the best receiver group in the conference, probably the best.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have that confidence in this team as well. They definitely do a lot of cardio in the offseason to keep themselves in shape, and it shows on the field every time they're targeted. Morozic de Jesus, he had that drop, I believe, in the first quarter, but still, he had his man beat. So these guys have the burners. They put them on display at least a couple times from each guy respectfully every single game. And it's nice when it's here at home in the Dog Pound in an atmosphere like this. 11:55 to play here in the fourth. 21-14 Bulldogs as they just retook the lead off the strike from Rosick de Jesus. West Chicago will get the ball back. What can they do on another huge drive? It's like it's getting replaced every time. Biggest drive of the game, biggest drive of the game. Now you got to strike back and give another low blow towards the Bulldogs defense if you're West Chicago's offense here.
Now, do we see them go back to this onside kick, try to blow them up again?
Just don't false start, guys. As it will be more of a squib. We'll see if the Wildcats can handle it properly. Big, huge play from Giacomelli. Blew up. That's Ian Lemus, who dropped the touchdown earlier. That was a huge shot from Giacomelli there on special teams. He is still down right along the Bulldogs sideline. I think you saw that up here too. That was a huge hit. Hope he's okay. Giacomelli obviously got up after that one. So Ian Lemus on the wrong side of that huge hit on special teams as he's still down being attended to by Bulldogs trainers.
Blown up by the drip king there. I think we talk about it all the time. Tim Giacomelli always pulling up to the game with quite the
swag. He uses the BC, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously hope this player for West Chicago is okay. Ian Lemus, like we said, he had that drop touchdown earlier in the game. Still, the West Chicago Wildcats feel like he can be targeted in this offense. That obviously means that they believe in him on their front, as he is still down being attended to. The players in their respective huddles as we wait to see an update on Lemus.
And we've talked about the defense all night, how they've needed to step up. It just hasn't happened yet. We haven't seen a big play. We haven't seen a really like special
tide-shifting play.
Yeah,
I'd say, right?
like nothing has really stood out to me. No massive plays, and I just think if there's a time to do it, it's now. You really need to do it now. RB needs this type of momentum going into Glenbard East next week. Even looking ahead into it, I know I've started to do my research. Quarterback number 4, Michael Nee, definitely very good quarterback. Yeah, lit RB up last year. I mean, had probably 4 touchdowns that game.
Man.
But besides the fact that he is a potential all-state quarterback, he also plays on my travel team. So, yeah, committed D1. So
shout out. Obviously, not going to shout him out when the Bulldogs play him next week, but they took it to us last year, and revenge is a dish. Best served cold. The Bulldogs will take them on next Friday in a cold October matchup as we inch closer to Halloween when the playoffs will occur. Can the Bulldogs remain undefeated? But obviously can't look past tonight. Still a close game. They're going to have to finish out strong, especially on the defensive front for Riverside Brookfield. Got to get away with this one before we can even talk about Glenbard.
Absolutely. And Lemus getting off the field in his own power.
Thankfully. It was a scary sight for sure. He was down for a couple of minutes there as he was being attended to by both respective training staffs. He's off on his own power alongside the athletic trainers. So this game will be resumed here after the Lemus injury. Moreno in there at quarterback. Will he throw? I mean, hey, they got a passing touchdown tonight. Wasn't really through the air as it was more of a screen play, but still, it's all about putting faith in your offensive guys. Moreno fake the run, and nice tackle there from Nieves, a guy we were looking for. We circled tonight for a big play. That's a notable one right there that might just shift that tide if you can stay with it.
And we said it all night. We've been waiting for that play, and that might be the play as he blew up Michael Jaimes and saw him go down again. But Nieves got in there and just brought him down. And even with the shiftiness of Naranjo, he was able just to get the legs, bring him down.
There's a reason why number 55 has been on varsity for consecutive years in a row. This kid is trusted by the coaching staff. He puts in the work. Big, strong, physical player. As Naranjo will look to throw here, he'll go deep. And he's got a man. Ocampo drops the ball. Drops the ball. Unbelievable. Was a dart from Naranjo. Had a lot of air yards on that one. We talk about a drop at the beginning of the game. That one is 10 times bigger. My goodness, and just like that, it's a 3rd and long. That would have been a brutal blow to this Bulldogs defense. And now this Wildcats offense has to make this 12 yards up at the very least.
And you wonder if that's a blown coverage or if it's just a matchup type of situation. You don't think he's going to drop back and let it fly for over 40 yards.
Yeah, man. I mean, we haven't seen it at all tonight just like that to that volume. I think these players are still confused as like really what went on that last play. Got to recover here on 3rd and 12. Don't give anything up. Don't let up. Bend, don't break. Naranjo will scramble again. Look through the air. Incomplete. Nice play by Anthony Lemke. He's hyped up. This defense is hyped up. No flags. Bulldogs defense will get off the field.
And we talked about it. The setting the tone. I mean, they really set the tone right there. Damian Nieves getting in there, making a big hit to start the drive.
Huge play. And my goodness, that was a drop that made me and you throw our hands up. My goodness, was wide open. I think I'd call that broken coverage. Safeties were late to it. And a huge missed opportunity there for this Wildcats offense.
Second punt of the game. Gonna see what Karras can do with this one.
I believe it's Naranjo back there to boot it on this 4th and long here. So 4th and 12. How far can he get this one? Oh man, I thought he was ready for a fake there a second. Karras gonna let it bounce. And a nice Wildcats roll inside the 15 as they try to air it back even further. Zabierski picks it up. Bulldogs will have to make up 86 yards of football to find that end zone again and increase this lead. But what a standout drive there from this Bulldogs defense, as you could see them electrified on this defensive sideline.
No, we talked about it. Damian Nieves hasn't had that stellar game. That was his moment. That was the moment where he stepped up, showed why he's a leader, why he's a multiple-year starter, been starting since he was a sophomore.
Wow.
I mean, talk about the kid, talk about the big play. I mean, not much more you can ask from the defense on that, except that blown coverage was a little scary.
Yeah, was a little scary. I know I jumped up there for a second. Thought for sure he was coming down with that. Nonetheless, Bulldogs have the ball back here. We'll see what they could do with it. Gonna have to make up a lot of yardage here to find that end zone. Play clock winds down, 10:47 to play here in the 4th. Can the Bulldogs hold on? Novak will look to throw. And a bit of a miscommunication there. Maybe Karras fell down, was intended for 22, couldn't find him, and it'll be a 2nd and 10 here.
Looked like a little bit of a hold on the outside there. I mean,
with some contact.
Karras pretty quick on his feet, pretty light on his feet. He's
the guy that normally breaks those, right?
Yeah, typically doesn't fall that often. So probably a little bit of holding in there. Coach Vojak a little frustrated with that one, as that play could have gone for a touchdown if he could have broke free.
Refs letting him play on that play. It is a 2nd and 10 here for the Bulldogs. You see players chopping it up on the sideline after that defensive stand-up. Ratana try to bounce it outside, get a couple yards back. Number 0 keeps chugging along here tonight. Another positive gain for 3. It'll be a 3rd down here for the Bulldogs. Huge play.
Absolutely. And I think I got a new nickname for Ratana, the Freight Train.
There you go, the Freight Train. The bowling ball, the Freight Train. Whatever keeps chugging forward. Here, big play, 3rd and 7. Got to convert here to maybe put these Cats down. Novak will look to throw. Got his man into Jesus. Open space. There he goes. No flags. Touchdown. Pump that fist, Morozic to Jesus. 11 on the year. Number 6 in for 6. Bulldogs extend their lead.
And you talk about it, that might be the highlight of the game. Biggest play, 3rd and 10.
3rd and 7.
3rd and 7. And he's going to get wide open on that route, break a tackle, and he is just gone. Naranjo looking the wrong way, blew right through it, as we're going to get a replay of this last touchdown from Morozic de Jesus.
I'm speechless, Colin. That was awesome. That was spectacular. Morozic de Jesus, breakaway speed. We all knew he had it. Full display on that play. His 2nd of the night, 11th on the season. Bulldogs up big, penning this extra point. Can't even speak here, man. He'll knock it through, no doubt. Double eights, splits the uprights. 9:57 to play. Bulldogs offense getting it done just when they need to. We can talk about that play, but what a job from the Bulldogs defense to flip that script and get them the ball back in prime position for them to score.
Absolutely. And not even in prime position to score, the momentum.
Exactly.
The momentum they had going into that drive. Big hits, nice plays, broken up passes. I just think right now the tide has just swung the Bulldogs' way, and hopefully that can continue for the rest of the night.
Gotta hope that can stick. The Wildcats, they have just under 10 minutes to play here and try to get those 2 touchdowns back at the very least. So we will see what their offense can do. Ocampo with that brutal drop. I'm worried for him in the film room this week. I mean, that is a brutal blow for their offense. I don't know if he would have scored because he was backtracking, but hey, man, it might be a 21-21 ball game right now if that was the case.
Even then, not just Ocampo, Lemus as well. I mean,
man.
2 big drop touchdowns. Looking at the score right now, I mean, that's a tie ball game if they catch both of those.
Yeah. Ball will fall there as Bilo Brodek is able to run up to it. Bit of a Charlie Brown kind of play there. Gets pulled away last second. Still, man, I think this Wildcats staff might be asking Coach Styler after this one if they've got any jug machines out. Work on those hands before they leave for the bus tonight. Inexcusable drops, no question, because like you said, that's a tie ball game. If they score those 2 here, that would have put them at 28, assuming they got the extra point, or even if they got the 2-point conversion, we'd be talking about a whole different ball game right now as a speedster right there. Whoa, late push. And 2 flags thrown. He's still rolling on that field. Oscar Aguirre, way to sell it. Get that man an Oscar. Literally, Oscar Aguirre.
Literally,
Are you
Oscar.
kidding me?
But we talked about it. Nuri Benilos Cabral, I mean, frustrated all night, and he just shows it on this play. That's not what you need. Down 2 touchdowns. Going to push them back probably 15 yards there.
I think that's what separates the good teams from the teams that can get beaten, right? You get down 2 scores, you can't stay in. I mean, if you get in your own head, those kinds of mental mistakes and mental errors happen, and that'll continue to pull away even without the ball moving on those specific plays. Those late hits and those unacceptable errors, mental errors from this Wildcats team is only going to knock them further out of contention here tonight, as we have 9:52 to play here in the 4th, Colin.
Yeah, Oscar Aguirre, though, on that play, came in there like a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, you saw
I
it.
mean, he just flew in there, laid an absolute devastating hit.
That's what he's known for, man. As Naranjo will line up. Appears as if he handed it off. Yes, he did, only for a gain of about 2 or 3. And his player's still getting up there, so it'll be 2nd and long for the Wildcats.
That'll bring up 2nd down.
And the more you're down, Colin, the more you have to think about throwing it. And you had a man open. I mean, wow. I mean, you had a man open, right? You had a man open in Ocampo, had about 8 or 9 yards of space between him and the nearest defender. Couldn't come down with it. That's a play that we're going to be looking back on for a while and say, phew, thank God that didn't go in the opposing team's favor. Naranjo will tuck it and run here. Will get stood up as it is silent from that Wildcats sideline.
And the Bulldogs defense these last couple drives, they've stepped it up a ton. I mean, they have just looked fantastic, getting in on every play, getting down on every ball. I mean, this is when another stop here might seal the deal for the night.
They've stood all 10 toes the last drive and a half. Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 4. Do they run? Do they pass? Remain to be seen. Either way, Bulldogs defense going to have to come ready and prepared. Ferguson presses up on his receiver, and Naranjo will try to run it. He'll get more than enough for a Wildcats 1st down. And Aguirre shoved down late again. Not going to get another Oscar for that one. 8:25 and counting here in the 4th. Wildcats still down 2 scores, excuse me, but they keep the ball moving here. Another 1st down for this offense.
From the 27-yard line.
And these last couple games at home, they've been such blowouts. So we've called a lot of names that we weren't calling in some of these tighter games. But so far, we've seen starters and starters only.
Naranjo will take the snap, will fake the pitch back. He'll get knocked up and hit hard by this Bulldogs defense coming down with him. That's Brian Rimpilla on there. And Jaden Barrett. How about Jaden Barrett? You see him in here a lot tonight. Another 3rd down here for the Wildcats. offense, excuse me, Wildcats offense. Jaden Barrett in there. I don't want to say every snap because I haven't been keeping count, but I've noticed number 23 out there a lot for this defense each drive. Way to get in there on those tackles.
Absolutely, and it could be certain type of matchups that they're looking for. Jaden
sure.
Barrett maybe faster than some of the other defensive linemen. Just whatever you need on a specific night, and the Bulldogs have those interchangeable pieces.
As Wren will be out there, number 5, Warren Mason, on an island with the receiver he's guarding. John Evans will have to make a play here in open space, so Campo will shake out to the outside. He'll get out of bounds, get a couple there. As they only throw laterally. Other than that big drop, we haven't really seen much down the field in the passing game for this Wildcats offense. So maybe that's what they go to here for the rest of the way. Maybe they try to get the ball to Ocampo in open space. We've yet to see what he can do in open space after that drop. But, I mean, he's their leading receiver for a reason. You got to think that he's at least somewhat of a threat against opposing defenses.
Well, I can take a guess that they're going to try to get it up the middle here on a big 3rd and 1.
I'd like to see a linebacker try to shoot up the gut and stop this one. It'll be a pitch to Zabierski, and he will have more than enough for a first down. Huge hit there from Oscar. It'll be a first down, but a nice hit there from number 2. He'll keep on racking up those tackles in those neon green cleats.
I mean, we talked about a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness. He just obliterated
knocked the headlights off that
Liam
kid.
Zabierski.
Ranyo under center, calls his man in motion. Will fake the pitch. He'll look downfield now. Bulldogs have it covered. Ferguson doesn't know the ball's coming. Clean, good coverage the whole way through from number 24, Luke Ferguson, a name that we haven't said yet tonight. But still, if you're not saying his name, that means he's not getting beat anywhere, right? So plays like that are good to see. A linebacker in coverage there, maybe not built as much as a corner Ferguson is, but still, way to make a play there. Way to make sure it's clean, safe, no PI. Be a gain of nothing for this Wildcats offense there.
And the Wildcats, I think they know now they got to start taking some shots.
Yeah.
Clock's ticking down.
Right.
RB's offense has the running game to keep the clock going, push it on 3rd downs, and they're in 4 down, typically in 4 down territory. So
they have no choice, really. Naranjo will get stuffed. Every Bulldog out there on that field, really, other than Warren Mason, was in there for that tackle. These guys want to help stat pad themselves and get themselves on this stat sheet. And another late flag. That was about 8 seconds after the whistle was blown. We'll see what it is. It's on the defense. So some late activity there. Wonder if it's physical. Ref will go talk to Styler, pick up the flag. Nonetheless, it is on the defense. Bulldogs are clearly frustrated. So even though they're up 2 scores, I think this is still what's like, obviously you don't want to see the flag on them, but you see that they're still frustrated. They don't care that they have that flag on them. Or, I mean, they do obviously care that they have that flag on them, but they still care that they're getting pushed back and they're giving, you know, this Wildcats team free first downs. You don't want that ever, regardless of if you're up 50 or 5, right?
not at all. And you want to keep it clean no matter what. They talk about it all the time. You want to build good in-game habits. And we're going to see Joey Zimmerman here standing on the field, maybe getting a sub in.
As they will pull him off.
Never
I was getting in there for a second. That's Jaden Lee, number 13, coming in there for the play. Will line up against his intended receiver on West Chicago, which is Donovan Hamilton, a sophomore. And Aguirre is getting pulled out of the game now. You have to wonder what's going on. He is clearly upset. They'll have to play through this one here. Naranjo got his man in motion. That's Wheat, by the way, here. And at quarterback, Ocampo is stuffed. Nice open field tackle there. That's Luke Ferguson and John Evans getting the job done there out on the edge. So Ocampo got shut down by himself and by these Bulldogs defenders here tonight.
It's just tough. It's tough for this offense right now. They don't have the weapons that Riverside Brookfield does. And when they go to them, we've seen a lot of drops. So you might not have that quarterback wide receiver trust that the Bulldogs that the Bulldogs have. Sorry.
These Kennelly Stadium lights might be too bright for these receivers. Got some Tariq Cohen kind of play here. My goodness, he just keeps moving back, testing the stamina. Nice play there. Great tackle. That's Jaden Lee on the play.
And he's down.
Still down. Uh-oh. He is not moving. Gotta hope he's okay. Scary sight here again. He had a couple injuries so far tonight. Hope he's okay. Who's number 20 there? That's Daniel Papp, sophomore, listed at wide receiver and cornerback. Tried to make too much happen there. He is still down on the field. I haven't seen him move yet. You got to hope he's okay. A lot of scary injuries here tonight, specifically for the Wildcats. We want to talk about momentum here, Colin. I don't know if I'd say, really, that the Wildcats have had much of any. I think, yes, they kept it close through the first half, but when the Bulldogs' offense specifically is on the field, they get the job done. We saw it with Morozic de Jesus here twice tonight. Even if, the Wildcats sniff out any sort of momentum, the Bulldogs are quick to shut it down, and I think that's one of the best characteristics about this football team this season, as all these players are on one knee. For Daniel Papp, sophomore, listed at wide receiver and cornerback, 5'8", 155. Took a rough hit to the ground there. He's still down, being attended to by each and every athletic trainer here at the Dog Pound.
Still not seeing a lot of movement. He's getting up,
here
though.
He comes to get up. Gotta hope he's okay. We'll see if he can walk up on his own power, Still being attended to. Gotta make sure he's okay. These are very scary sights to see. It's the worst part of football, Colin.
Such a physical game, and it's not like the guys are out here trying to hurt people. It's hard. It's bound to happen, and you gotta feel bad when it does happen.
Papp will get up, try to walk off on his own power. Maybe took a hit to the head. Those are always hard to shake off. Concussions are never easy to deal with, especially initially. Not to presume that Papp will be taken off, and he'll walk off slowly towards the sideline. This Wildcats offense will trot back out onto the field.
But before that, he had a little bit of a Tariq Cohen play, as you were talking about. I mean,
back and forth. Kept moving back, tried to make something happen. And you got to give him credit. The Wildcats offense definitely needs to kind of spark. If he turned that into a big play, I think they would have been right back in this one in terms of energy. But obviously went down real hard there, got up off his own power, which is the best thing to see, the best result out of that play. Bulldogs defense will get set here. 3rd and 17.
Big hit from Jaden Lee there as well. I mean, he
wrapped up well.
Yeah.
Good tackle. Just went down, unfortunately, the wrong way. Timeout. Going to go to the Bulldogs here. So it appears to be some confusion. Maybe they just take this one to talk things over. But Aguirre got pulled off a bit earlier this drive. Took his helmet off. Maybe it was a wardrobe issue or something. Got pulled off the field. Was clearly frustrated with both Coach Styler and Coach Griffin. Interested to see what that was about. Didn't get much clarity on it here from next door or anything down on the field in terms of hand signals or anything. But this defense, they've rose to the occasion, specifically in the second half. And I think they started off the third quarter as best as they possibly could.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And they came out firing.
Yep.
I mean,
Damien Nieves.
It was absolutely great to see them get into the end zone immediately. And they've just, like, a spark has lit within this team, and they've stayed together this whole game. Even though we didn't think it was going to be this close, we thought maybe the Bulldogs could pull away with this one a little bit earlier.
Yep.
But West Chicago's kept it close, and they've stayed very close together.
As we await here for the next play of the Wildcats here. Defense out here for the Bulldogs still.
We're going to see Jaden Karras in there playing DB along with Warren Mason after what happened with Oscar Aguirre.
Yep.
And do you know if there's a unnecessary roughness penalty limit?
I do not know.
Because that was his second of the game.
Interesting. Maybe he got called out of the game for that. Naranjo looking to throw here. At least it appears. Will go deep. Intended for his receiver. Absolutely overthrown there. Hit it around the 15-yard line. His receiver was right around the 20. As nothing going for this passing game. It looks to stay that way through the end of this game. 4.5 to play here in the fourth. Your Bulldogs are up 2 scores. And it'll be a 4th and forever for this Wildcats offense.
You got to go. It's crunch time for West Chicago. You're down 2 scores. You got to go.
Third down, excuse me. Swag Surfing corrected me, as it does best. We'll see what the Wildcats offense will try to cook up here.
It's 4th down. They got the scoreboard off right now. You can see it on the...
There we go. So we will see what Naranjo has cooking here. We'll try to throw again, take another deep shot. And this one nearly intercepted. I think John Evans wanted that one, try to dive for it. 4:20 to play here after another incomplete pass. Wildcats will get dragged off the field. These felines can't get anything going on offense. The Bulldogs will take it back and look to shut this one out for good. What a response in the second half on both sides of the football. It was a bit more sluggish here in the first half. What a way to get things going here in the final 24 minutes of this game after it was all Wildcats in terms of time of possession.
Absolutely. And when we talk about player of the game, I mean, it could go to really anyone tonight. I think someone that really stepped it up this second half and helped the Bulldogs pull away is Xavier Morozic de Jesus.
Absolutely.
He has had an absolute phenomenal game, racking in his 11th touchdown of the season. I mean, it's a pretty great way to follow up your all-conference season last year. And he was an all-state mention as well.
Yes, you still have a game to play in the regular season against Glenbard. A huge game at that, as Novak will break free. Can he escape? Does he have the speed? He'll get wrapped up at around the 15-yard line, and he'll get right back up. Give that ball to the ref, and gotta hope he's okay. Looks to be a bit shaken up there, but it appears as if he's all right. But yes, I totally agree. Morozic de Jesus, he was the man tonight. Got those 2 scores that the Bulldogs offense absolutely needed in crucial points of this game. You see his stats here coming into the game. 36 for 663 with a long of 61. Those might be a bit outdated. Yes, those are from last season, but let's talk about the growth from last season, right? 36 for 663 and 5. I mean, he's over doubled now, and he's got 11 touchdowns to mark on this season with 1 game to play, and then playoffs after that to see if he can cook up there as well in late October, early November. But what a job between junior and senior year, and it's a credit to what these guys, Morozic de Jesus, Karras, you know, all these guys, seniors, juniors, whoever's on this football team, the work that they put in this offseason to make the product look like this, to make this product look lossless, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Undefeated.
And in the weight room, I mean, you've seen it. I see it every day. I mean, they're in there. Styler talks about it. They're still going. They're still going hard. And he talked about it. They had their best lift of the season this week. I mean, that's what you love to see coming around playoff time. Guys aren't slacking off. They're not complaining about how they're tired because of how long this season is. They're going. Energy's up. They're undefeated. I mean,
they're riding off that, man.
You just think the energy in the school, the energy within this team.
Different, right?
It's different.
You can feel the vibe is different. And normally, I think you'd hear our best lift of the season from any coach. They'd probably say preseason, like in August, leading up to the season. To have that be in middle October, I think that's a huge credit and a huge sign that this team, no matter where they are in the weight room, out on the field in practice, or under the the bright lights on Fridays, they're always hyping each other up. A handoff to Garcia as he will shed a tackle there in the backfield. Will get inside the 15 for a solid gain there on first down.
And we talked about it tonight about how we're going to see Garcia in more of a running back role.
That's all we've seen him at, really.
That's all we've seen him at tonight. And I think that's going to be interesting as we head a little bit further into the playoffs, seeing what type of role Garcia is going to pick up. Maybe are they going to switch him back to a quarterback, try to catch teams off guard, be like, oh, he's played running back the last couple games. Maybe throw a little quarterback look at them. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what, and especially who they play against first round.
Exactly.
There's a lot of tough teams in 6A. But first, let's not look ahead. Let's finish this game.
Got to take care of the now, and Coach Styler talks about that. And he even said to us Thursday morning before the playbook show, he said a lot can change this week. The records after this week determining a lot in terms of playoffs. So still needs to be ironed out in terms of who the Bulldogs play, who makes the playoffs, who doesn't. A lot left to be seen as Garcia takes the handoff again. Will be driven down sideways. More than anything, I'd like to see him come out of this one healthy. I think taking these hits at running back, because he still is absolutely a threat through the air. Garcia, we know what kind of arm he can display when he's put out there at quarterback instead of Novak. Keep these guys healthy. You have a big game next week. I think this one is absolutely in the palms here. I think this one's all but over as you are approaching 2 minutes to play here in the fourth on 3rd and 5, up 2 scores. Get out of here healthy, get prepared for Glenbard, and prove why you should be feared against anybody that is set to play you in the first week of playoffs on Halloween.
And I was talking to a couple guys on the team. They said their projected first-round matchup would have been the Fenwick Friars, but Fenwick tonight playing the powerhouse Mount Carmel. I mean, got to see how that game's going. Depends. It really all depends, and I'm really excited to see who they play.
As Novak will take the run there. Won't get the first down. We'll see what they do with it. So we wait to see what this Bulldogs team will do. They'll give themselves a timeout here. 1:26 to play on 4th and short. Do we see Bilo Brodek get out there for a kick? We talked about it pregame. I set the over-under. I was like, dude, over-under half Bilo Brodek field goal kicks. We're in perfect position for that right now. I took the over. I want him to hit it. Come on, let's go, John. I know you got it in you, brother. Let's go.
It's about field goal distance. Hopefully he can knock that one down. I think it would be great to get him another one, especially going into that big game next week, where you might need a big kick. It might come down to that.
You want
you're
that
down,
leg warmed up, man.
You're down a point. Got to make a big kick for game. John Bilo Brodek's going to be that guy for you, and he's definitely shined like some moments these last couple of seasons. He's looked very good as the kicker.
Yeah. I'd say so as well, as he warms up there out on the field. 4th and 3, gets loose. Can he knock this one through? It's about a 20-some yard field goal here for Bilo Brodek, assuming he kicks it, and he will. Looks to be Karras as your place kicker.
There'll be no fake kicks tonight, unfortunately.
No.
Too far away from
67 points.
The big 67.
Yes.
But hopefully Bilo Brodek can knock this one down.
Help improve his field goal percentage. To the best of my knowledge, he's missed just one this season, but has not attempted a whole lot. High snap, gets it down. Can he knock it through? Yes, he will. Good to see for Bilo Brodek to extend this Bulldogs lead to 17 with just over a minute and a half to play here before this thing ends. Here at Kennelly Stadium, your Bulldogs respond in a big way this second half. Good to see the leg of Bilo Brodek still shine here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And I didn't think we were going to see a lot of those tonight.
No.
I thought they were going to score mostly touchdowns, but it's good to see everyone getting that work in.
I think you made a great point. You have no idea what next week or playoffs can look like. You have to make sure he's ready and he has those reps under him to be ready to get going with his leg in any situation. So good for Bilo Brodek. I'm sure it feels good for him. I know he loves going out there for any PAT or field goal, so should feel great. And extend this lead for the Bulldogs to 17, looking to stay undefeated at 8-0, right? So huge game for the Bulldogs. Didn't look great in the first half, but have responded really well.
And I mean, I think we got to look into it for the next playbook episode. When was the last time Riverside Brookfield has gone 8-0?
Yeah.
I think
got to dig that up, man.
It's a major accomplishment. This team has worked so hard. They've stayed together the whole season.
Huge credit to everybody. I mean, players, coaches, staff, trainers too. I think that gets underlooked. These guys are sore every Monday, coming in after a long weekend, after a Friday Night Lights game. So to keep these players healthy as well is something that cannot be talked about enough, as Bilo Brodek, still a strong leg after a long night tonight. We'll kick this one out of the end zone. It'll be a touchback as the Wildcats will take over. Probably a bit too late to make a huge comeback here. Right down 17 with 95 seconds to be exact to play, but we'll see. Maybe the stat pad a bit in the rushing game.
Yeah, who knows? Or they'll play it safe, not risk any injuries going into it, maybe pop a couple knees, just end the game.
Yeah. We will see if the Wildcats choose to accept defeat or run away from it.
Well, that's all they've done all night is ran.
Think, right? So as we await, they break the huddle here.
We're going to see Lucas Wheaton in there.
Yep. So we've seen him in for a couple drives, just a couple here. Naranjo got shaken up towards the end of the first half. You got a timeout, Wildcats, before they even get a first snap in here. So they'll talk things over, they want to finish this game as best as they can. Taking over at around the 20-yard line.
And I think it's definitely interesting to talk about this West Chicago team, how they fell into a little bit of a loss deficit here
after going 4th in a row.
After going 3-1. I mean, it's tough to lose 4 in a row. I mean, they've played some tough teams, as in Glenbard South. They played them super tight within 7, but Glenbard East losing 41-6. Now it's going to be interesting to see what the Bulldogs are going to do next week, as Glenbard East kind of took it to West Chicago there.
Interesting nugget here from this loss streak from the Wildcats. They actually lost to Elmwood Park, who the Bulldogs went to town on last week. 67-8 was your final score in favor of the Bulldogs. Elmwood Park beat them by a score. It was a high-scoring matchup, over 100 points scored in that one, 55-48. And Wheat will throw deep on this one. Bit of a wobbly spiral. And a PBU there for Jaden Lee. He's had a nice night here, the junior, for Riverside Brookfield. And another nice play from number 13 in the defensive backfield.
Well, moving a little bit away from their game plan here, just letting it fly these last couple drives.
Testing the arm of their quarterbacks. Why not, right?
Seeing if it works. I mean, maybe if it started to work, they move away from this triple T, but
Ocampo still in the game, number 4, their leading receiver heading into this matchup tonight. As Wheat remains under center here for the Wildcats. Can he get his feline fellows going here on the final drive of the game? Get anything going. That's a low pass intended for Adriano Rivera, the man who's gotten a lot done here tonight on the ground. Just not enough as they're still down 17 here with just over a minute to play. Where's the clock? Feels like the clock should be moving here.
Yeah,
126 to go.
Game's pretty out of reach.
Yeah.
I think clock should be running here, but Dogs enjoying their time on the field.
Got to be feeling good. I mean, the atmosphere really this entire season, but especially as they remain undefeated, they got to be so proud of themselves. Great sight to see here tonight. Naranjo will get the end around here, try to make a couple moves. I'll tell you what, man, he's shifty. When he has the ball in his hands, he can make a couple of defenders miss. Good player, didn't get to shine a whole lot tonight, but West Chicago has one in Naranjo on their offense for sure. Unfortunately, he is a senior, so they won't have him again next year. But a fun player, number 2. See, we'll get the ball again here on another end around, this time to the opposite side of the field. He'll move past the 35-yard line down at the 37. Like we said, too little, too late, right, Colin?
No, absolutely. And as he's down, he was very slow to get up there. That's not what you want to see. As he got one more week left, he may be out of the playoff picture, but who knows? I mean, losing 4 in a row is tough.
I don't think their season is over. I think they still have a big matchup next week. Still, I mean, you want to win every game possible. So drop snap there. Can the Bulldogs fall on it so they can kneel this one away, not dilly-dally? No, Wildcats will fall on it. That was Wheat to fall on it. Another down Wildcat. These Cats are dropping like flies. Number 55, slow to get up. Finally gets up on his own power. That's Trevor Sweeney there, the senior. And he is still looking at his lower leg there. And he'll hobble off the field, attended to by a trainer. So 23 here to play. I think it's safe to say that our player of the game, the POTG for the Bulldogs here tonight, none other than X-Man, right, Colin?
Absolutely. I mean, all season he's made these huge plays. Glenbard South, this game, any game that's been relatively close, which the Bulldogs have not really had this season. They've only really had 2 to 3 close games. But every game, Xavier has really stepped up and just been the bright spot for the Bulldogs here. And another player I would like to shout out is Braden Novak. I mean, he showed out in multiple ways tonight, and that was great to see.
For sure, Naranjo will add to his stat sheet here tonight. Jaden Lee not shying away from contact, as that will do it. Your Bulldogs remain undefeated. What a sight to see here at Kennelly Stadium. The black and blue get it done just like they have all season, as the Bulldogs fall on top of this one, 31-14 on top of the West Chicago Wildcats. As the players will meet at the center of the field. Like we said, first half was a little sketchy, Colin, but the Bulldogs learned and they fought to pull away in the second half, got things going right off the kickoff. What a job by this offense and defense to find themselves here in the final 24.
No, absolutely. And the way they stepped up, we just said it, is huge. The slow starts, though, for these next 2 weeks cannot happen.
Nope.
It cannot happen. This offense just needs to go. They need to go. And
waste no time, man.
Absolutely. And they really only had one rough drive tonight, but Braden Novak really stepped it up and helped complete this game for the Dogs.
How about number 9 going with his legs tonight? That's not something that me and you have seen so far this season up in the booth. Obviously still has, a season to play for this Bulldogs squad. So to see that game, or side of his game, sort of shine a little bit tonight alongside Giancarlo Garcia, who we only saw take snaps at running back tonight. Interesting look there that we've seen a little bit teased in this offense the last couple of weeks, as the Bulldogs will kneel down together, rally around Coach Styler, the man that they've all bought into in this program. What a job by this coaching staff as he fires his guys up. the playbook legend, Coach Styler. Huge shout out to the man.
I mean, it's just great to see the way they
rally around each other.
Yes, and the respect they have for the coaching staff. I mean, you really don't see it. There's not a lot of yelling back and forth. It's in the moment that they're getting on each other.
That's football,
But
man.
it's football. That's coaching. It's very productive coaching. And Coach Styler this year has really just brought this team up. And you've seen it from all the guys. The way they treat the offense, the way they listen to the playbook. They don't go against the coach's word.
Absolutely not. And I hate to make a Bears analogy here, but it's similar to Ben Johnson, dude. Like, you see the players buy in to not only the playbook, not only the scheme, but the coach, what he has to say in these kinds of huddles, post-game, win or loss, inside the locker room, pre-practice, post-practice. These are the kind of speeches that if all your guys are tuned in for, you're going to end up winning a whole lot of football games, and that's just what this Bulldogs team has done this year. A huge testament to all 49-plus guys on this roster. What a job so far this season. Still have to finish it strong heading into the playoffs, but a huge testament really to Coach Styler and everybody that's a member of this football team.
No, absolutely. And we didn't see a lot of reserves get in tonight, but the starters, great job all around. There wasn't really one guy you could pick out and say, he had a couple blown coverages. There was not a lot of that. It was a very clean game by the Bulldogs. Maybe a couple flags that should not have been thrown.
It's going to happen.
Couple chippy plays that are definitely preventable. But overall, the Dogs have just looked fantastic, and that is why they're 8-0.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's really incredible for a high school football team to remain undefeated. Really heading into late October, early November is incredible to be a part of here in the booth. We can't talk highly enough of all these football players. You can see how much they've bought in, which we've already brought up. But what a job tonight. It was a slow start. Had me scared a little bit at halftime. I don't know about you. I think you as well, Colin. But what a way to pull away. Found themselves on top by 17, 31-14, your final score here at Kennelly Stadium as we await an interview down on the field, hopefully with our player of the game, Xavier Mrosic de Jesus. Let's recap him a little bit before we send it down. 2 touchdowns tonight. That's his 11th on the year. And heading into this one, he had 15 for 331. So maybe not the biggest stats, but it is high school football after all. And 15 for 331, that averages out to a lot per reception, Colin.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it all year, though. We talk about it. He has these 2 reception games where he'll put up 98 yards, and you're like, what was he doing? Yeah. I mean, even the away games, we'll get the stats from Coach Styler afterwards, and you'll look and you're like, how did he have 120 yards on 3 receptions? So
I mean, that is literally 40 a reception, and it's not like we're over-exaggerating, folks. I mean, he is that kind of player, just like Jaden Karras is as well. As we hope to get that interview down on the sideline, we're still waiting to see if we can do it.
Yeah, they're making their way over there, so hopefully we'll get it soon.
Go.
Maybe with Coach Styler as well. I mean, exciting night for the Bulldogs. I can't talk about it enough how big of an accomplishment this is, being ranked 10th in the state coming into this game.
Maybe moving up, man.
This is a trap game. I will say that for sure. West Chicago is a tough team. This was a big trap game for the Bulldogs. As you say it many times, you see it in college football. They have these games where you're a little nervous going into it. And I think we definitely had our questions about it. So looking through it, Bulldogs played a great game, and it's great just to see them pull out a win here.
That's what winning football teams do. They come away with these kinds of performances on top, and that's just what they did tonight. It appears as if, hold tight, folks, don't leave just yet. It appears as if we're just moments away as we try to mic these guys up. Is that your brother down there, Colin?
That is my brother down there. Shout out Cameron Semino.
There you go. Early product of RBTV. Everybody's leaving the field. Players still rallied up. I see John Evans and a couple other guys. Looks like the defensive back room, which you like to see. So just awesome to see, man. These undefeated Bulldogs rally around together before and after the game. We're going to send it down to the field for a post-game interview.
Semino here with RBTV. I'm here with
Xavier Mrosic de Jesus, number 6 wide receiver.
Obviously, you had a great performance today, 2 touchdowns. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. You know, it was great to get this win. This is a great program that we beat. And right now, you know, we're 8-0. We're looking to go 9-0, win that conference championship, and you know that's where our minds are at next week.
So, like, what was your mindset in today's game? How are you feeling?
You know, this was a must-win for us. You know, last year it didn't go our way, so this year, you know, we wanted to right our wrongs, and you know, the scoreboard said it all.
Next week, you're going for 9-0. It's the biggest game of the year. Are you ready for it?
100%. 100%. No doubt in my mind.
Thank you, Xavier, for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, back to you guys. Coach Tyler, next. All right, yep. Okay, I'm here with Coach Styler. Obviously a great win today. How are you feeling after this win?
Great, man. It feels great to be 8-0. It was a tough team that we played tonight. They were extremely physical, and I'm just very proud of our guys on both sides of the ball. Offense executed every single time that they had the football. Defense came out with some big stops when we needed them, so very proud of the team.
Huge game next week, 9-0, biggest game of the year. Are you ready for this?
Heck yeah, man. It's what we've been working on since the offseason, right? We can't wait for it. Glen Bardee is going to be a real tough team, but our guys are ready for it. We're excited.
How are you going to celebrate today's win with the big win today? Are you excited? How are you going to celebrate it?
Going with the in the locker room, go celebrate with the guys, and then tomorrow morning we're right back at it.
Thank you for your time, Coach Tyler. Have a good one.
Wow. What a great interview there from Cameron Semino. I mean, left Xavier hanging there for a little bit. But
oh, what a way to end it, man. Yeah, no better player to highlight, right? Xavier Morozic de Jesus with a fantastic finish, fantastic second half. You see Styler pumped up on the sidelines there. Your Bulldogs fall on top, 31-14, your final score here at Kennelly Stadium. Your Dogs remain undefeated. I'm Aiden Sheff alongside Colin Semino. That'll do it for tonight's edition here via RBTV of Friday Night Lights.
And we'll see you guys for playoff football.
Get ready,
Let's go.
folks. Let's do it.